Meteorologist Rob Gilman says unseasonably cool today, breezy, leftover drizzle, shower around, your high 69. News this hour brought to you by AutoShine Auto Body. With decades of experience, AutoShine Auto Body is a gold certified auto body shop. You bend it, they mend it. In Abington and Braintree and online at AutoShineAutobody.com. Good morning. I'm Christine James. Now here's what's happening. Patrick Clancy back on the stand yesterday. Clancy's ex-wife Lindsay is accused of killing their 3 children while he was running an errand. Prosecutor Jennifer Sprague asked him about a phone call he had with Lindsay while he was out.
Can you describe that phone call for us?
It was very brief. I just said, I think there was a generic brand, and I said, is this one okay? And she said, yeah, that's fine.
And what was her demeanor during the call?
She was pretty quiet. It sounded like she was busy. I remember hanging up thinking she's probably in the middle of giving baths or something like that.
They also played audio from the 911 call he made after returning to their Duxbury home
the Federal Communication
to find their 3 children had been killed, prompting a very emotional reaction.
We'll be in recess at this time.
After they returned, he was cross-examined by defense attorney Kevin Reddington.
What kind of a mother was she?
She was very dedicated. She did everything. She started reading them books at 3 months. And she made up songs for them. I remember she used to make green eggs and ham for Cora because she liked that book.
Is that one of the Dr. Seuss books?
Yeah. She brought them to music classes.
And that was Kevin Reddington again, he was cross-examined by defense attorney Kevin Reddington. Now, the jury was excused for the day. The trial resumes this morning, and that is scheduled for 9 a.m.
Here, in the wild suburbs of Massachusetts, we observe a rare creature in its natural habitat, the distracted parallel parker.
I barely touched him.
But the damage is done. The rear bumper now resembles a crumpled accordion. Nearby, another victim of modern life. Ah, yes, the feral shopping cart attack. A devastating strike to the passenger side door. Good news, when life throws dents, dings, bumps, scrapes, crunches, or those, I swear, that pole came out of nowhere, moments your way, bring your vehicle to AutoShine Auto Body. From collision repair and auto body work to expert dent removal, the team at AutoShine Auto Body can make your car look showroom sharp again. Before you know it, you'll be back on the road looking like the accident never happened. AAA approved and iCar Gold certified. AutoShine Auto Body proudly serves drivers from its locations in Abington and Braintree and offers a veteran discount. Visit AutoShineAutobody.com.
You bend it, we mend it.
AutoShine Auto Body, because every car deserves a second chance, even after your parking job.
7:05 on 95.9 News now brought to you by the folks at Falcone Roofing. Think of Falcone Roofing for more than just roofing. If your home's siding, windows, or gutters need replacing, call Falcone Roofing at 508-746-6866 for a free estimate today. A police pursuit of a stolen SUV ending in a crash in Abington, where a 17-year-old from Weymouth was killed and 4 others seriously injured. The pursuit began about 7:45 yesterday morning on Walnut Street when an SUV took off at a high rate of speed after an officer tried to pull it over. Police Chief John Bonney says the pursuit went through several neighborhood streets.
The officer's voice was calm, the sirens were activated, the lights were on, and he detailed the several streets that he was traveling. He almost immediately indicated that he was pursuing a stolen motor vehicle. The stolen motor vehicle was a 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe that was stolen yesterday morning out of Brockton, about 3:25 in the morning. A few minutes into the pursuit, the officer's voice again remained calm, and he called in that the vehicle had crashed at 877 Washington Street. He immediately called for several ambulances because this was a serious crash.
The other 4 passengers in the SUV ranged in age from 14 and 17. 14-year-old female ejected by the impact and the others were trapped. Chief Bonney says it was an all-out effort by first responders to help the injured teens.
They used all available equipment. They took their time, just absolute pros, and gave everybody a chance at life here.
And the Plymouth County DA's office is investigating that incident. And meanwhile, real estate numbers jumping in June when it comes to home sales here in Plymouth County.
There were 827 deeds recorded, compared to 598 in May, and that is the highest number of sales in over 2 years.
Average price of a home, Plymouth County remains out of reach for many first-time home buyers. The average price is $724,410. That's a 5% increase over last year. And the last Friday of every month, the Register of Deeds puts a historic deed on display for the public to enjoy.
Normally we've done a colonial record since Plymouth 400, but this year we came across a deed in a decision by the court in 1783, when a lot of people realized during the war there were two sides of the revolution, where there were two sides, loyalists and the people that wanted to separate from England. This particular document was a confiscation of property from a loyalist. A lot of people will remember the name. You drive down 44, you see Peter Oliver's Mill. That was the property that was taken back. A committee was formed. They sold the property and gave the money to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Mr. Oliver, who was actually a judge at one point, decided later on to move back to England.
And we'll have another update for you for the month of July. That'll be in a couple of weeks. We'll be back. We're going to take a look at traffic and weather right after this.
Falcone Roofing Company in Plymouth does so much more than roofing. Hi, I'm John Falcone, first-generation founder. We do all types of roofing, but think of us for windows, skylights, doors, siding, gutter systems, and dumpsters, too. Our second-generation Falcones are growing the business. Gianni in the field, Bella in the office. Call for a free estimate. Roofing deals are all over social media. Go local, go professional. Falcone Roofing Company, Inc. of Plymouth.
Now, WATD traffic and weather on the 9s.
Good morning. It is 7:09, and taking a look at the Thursday ride, we do have some slowdowns on the expressway starting around Furnace Brook, and it's heavy and slow as you make your way up. We had a fender bender that was clearing near the gas tank. Thank you, road reporter Kevin, for that update. We've got a slowdown from Furnace Brook up towards Southampton Street, about 26 minutes from Braintree to Boston. Route 3 northbound is heavy after Route 18 up towards Union Street. Southbound, we've got delays for about a half mile at the Sagamore. 25 East is busy over the Bourne. No major delays on 44. 24 delays start around the Avon stretch near Harrison Boulevard. 93, some reduced speeds southbound as you make your way through the Canton area, getting by 138, and then delays on 128 from 95 up towards 109 in Dedham. Traffic on the 9s every morning. Traffic emergencies when they happen on WATD. Now the updated South Shore weather.
Rather dreary, damp morning. Fog here on the South Shore. We'll have times of drizzle with a cool breeze right off the Atlantic. The high 69 tonight. Areas of fog, a bit of mist in the air, the low near 60. Tomorrow the sunshine returns, breaking through clouds. It can be a spot shower. We'll feel the humidity. A high 80, 74 along the coast. Beach weather returns for the weekend. Saturday, sunshine for the most part. You'll still feel the humidity for this first weekend of August, near 80 degrees. Sunday, sunshine mixed with a few clouds, a high of 84. Next weather in just 10 minutes. For WATD, I'm meteorologist Rob Gilman.
61 degrees, rain outside our South Shore Studio, 7-11 on a Thursday. I'm Christine James, sending you back to Rom Hakala on 95.9 WATD.
O'clock hour, the South Shore's morning news, 95.9 FM, WATD, all around the South Shore on the radio, everywhere on the Audacy app, and we've got the YouTube camera fired up, WATD Radio on YouTube. You can watch the show, you can like, watch, and subscribe. WATD Radio on YouTube. You can check out the studio, and you can also go into the chat room and talk amongst yourselves. Lord Hadaway already checked in this morning. He says, good morning, Rob. Good morning, Christine. One more day till Friday. And he says, Anthony is here too. Woo woo.
Very good morning.
All right, Lord Hadaway, our number one fan. in the chat room on YouTube, WATD Radio on YouTube. Anthony, welcome.
Thank you. Happy
Down
to be
of
back
Rockland.
again.
Yeah. Emerson College. Doing a great job. All right. Let's see here. Text line available, 781-837-4900. Any of the stories you want to talk about? We had Anthony Fauci. Didn't have much to say on Capitol Hill yesterday. Pled the fifth over 100 times. He had to read that 100 times. They had to ask him the questions. I don't know. I wish, I don't know if someday it'll ever come out, but I'd like to know the real story about where the virus came from. Wouldn't it be nice to know whether you could really know the real answer? And I know some of you will say, Rob, yeah, it really was in a lab or it really was natural. But I don't really feel like I know exactly, and I wish I knew. I wish I knew, because if it were in a lab, I feel that somebody should be responsible and being held responsible if humans were involved in creating it. Deadly day in Abington as Christine came on live late in the show. Anthony, yesterday she broke in. Christine, you told us about this, what initially came in as a crash, and then we'd later learn that a teen died and the car was stolen.
Yes,
and
out of Brockton.
Awful.
17-year-old died.
Yeah.
That's
And
awful.
If you see pictures of it, it was a bad crash.
It was a bad crash.
Car
Somebody
was really in bad shape.
thrown out of the vehicle.
Ejected.
Bunch of other injured.
A young woman.
Awful.
She survived.
She survived, but was it the driver that was pinned?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. 17 years old. Again, what's that all about? Stolen car, driving around at, I don't know, like...
Going over 100, right?
8 in the morning on a summer day? What's that all about? I don't know. Let's see. We also had, as Christine mentioned, in Stoughton, what's going on with the police chief and the town manager. It sounds like, at least at this point, Christine, kind of a pause. They're both being put on paid administrative leave, which is the good thing because you want to work out both stories. As you talked about yesterday, Christine, they need to investigate who said what, and each is accusing the other, I think, of bad behavior. Is that from what I understand?
That's correct. And then now there'll be an independent investigation. Who they hire, I'm not sure yet, but in the past, they've been pretty good with the independent investigations, as we've done this in other towns, like you may remember in Rockland, actually.
Oh,
they've
yeah.
had things like that.
I think, Anthony, there were some shenanigans in the town hall there, right?
Yes, there were.
I remember this.
Yes, you do. Okay. So, yeah, sometimes you need an independent investigation. And oftentimes you do in a story like this because it's too close to home. Everybody, is impacted, whether they work directly for the police department or they work for the town. They'd be under the town managers. So there's too many of...
So you need an unbiased...
You got to have somebody to come in and kind of say, okay, fine, I don't have any skin in the game. I'm going to come in here and break this thing down. I don't know. It's really
and they do. I read the full report from Rockland.
Yeah?
It was very detailed.
Oh, good. Okay.
And they interviewed a lot of people. So and I wish I could remember the name of the folks
who
that
they
did
used?
it. Yeah, I'm sure I can find it in my notes, but it was pretty comprehensive.
All right. Well, I hope they get to the bottom of that story, and we'll see what happens, with the town of Stoughton.
Right.
Either way, it's not good for the town.
A lot of people were unhappy last night with that because they were there to support the police chief, and they were actually, jeering at some of the select board members, and one or two people had mentioned about a recall election. So who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't know if it. I don't know the people on the select board, but sometimes they seem to be, if they have the final call, some of them seem like they were a little weak or just not really answering much. But I don't know the full story, so maybe there's a reason why they weren't saying much.
I guess people want to be fair, and no, I'm not pointing them out in particular, but I'm not going to mention that someone who held office here a long time ago once said to me, people usually know what the right thing to do is, but they often lack the courage. And I believe that's accurate in a lot of situations with legislators.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And that person was wise as well for saying that. Let's see. Also, not much to really say. I know some of you have said that this story shouldn't even be reported on, Lindsay Clancy, but it is a story. And it is a sad one. I understand that, people have feelings about it. It's a very, yesterday was, again, I can't imagine what this guy had to go through, Christine and Anthony, to come home and describe, again, what is an everyday kind of thing. And you heard they asked him that no one at any point, they never said, you cannot leave your kids alone with your wife. And so a lot of medications. And he comes home, and you heard him describing the day, and it just seems so awful. I can't imagine what it's like for him to relive that. And thank goodness, I think, they made that decision that they wouldn't release that call, the 911 call. Judge Sullivan is really being, very strict about that. And I think he's smart about turning off the cameras, the audio, et cetera, when it gets to the calls, and this was ruled on before the trial, also certain pictures, et cetera. Yeah, that's not going to be used.
Yeah, that doesn't need to be shown outside the courtroom.
No.
But we can't. Again, it's hard to listen to some of it. It's hard to report on because as much as you try to separate your feelings, it's tough. There's children involved.
Yeah.
But you have to report it. It is news.
It is. Yeah, I know, and I appreciate as well. We had Ed from Plymouth saying. And he doesn't mean, he's not saying anything about us. He's just upset that the story has to be broadcast at all. It is horrific, and it should not be on TV. Don't take it personally. No, I know, and I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. I know what you're saying. He's, and I don't take that personally. I know what you're saying. He says you guys do a great job and have a good day. He's saying that it's just so, raw and personal.
It is. It is, and it's, as I said, it's tough to report on it. It's tough to listen to it. But what we're trying to do is present the essence without going for sensationalism.
Yeah, exactly, and that's all you can really do. And and I know they showed some video as well. I think of him at 3V and the CVS as well. And there have been many other times before when he would go away on trips. They tried to tell about that, and he said she was having her best day, and called to, she was the one that made the dinner order, talking about, should I get this? And they don't have that at CVS. Can I get this? Nothing unusual in her voice or demeanor at that time. And then you just hear the coming home and how confused. And I can't imagine, right, coming into the room, and then, when he gets up to that door and he says that the door to the bedroom is closed and he can't get in there. And then that's when he realized something was very wrong. The house was too quiet. And so we'll have more. They have testimony again, or the trial will resume at 9?
Resumes at 9, and I believe tomorrow is the site visit to the house. But that's only for the people that are directly involved.
Yeah, again, that will be, because again, the house has been sold. There are new owners now that live in Duxbury in that home, and that's going to be awful, I imagine, to have for someone that does live there now.
It must be tough to be on the jury for this case.
Yeah, I was thinking, I know a lot of people said that there's no way they could do that, and I get it. Everybody jokes, about trying to get out of jury duty, but you can see certainly there's some cases where it is very hard to, and you're right, I think the judge said you got to try to leave the emotion.
Right, and deal with the facts. And some of the, again, is the reporters who were in there, even though they didn't broadcast that, they're not showing the jurors' faces, which I think is smart. Some of them were visibly shaken, and it's tough. You can't deny your humanity. You try to look at things in a rational way. What is the letter of the law here? But we're only human.
Yeah.
Most of us, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, and I think it's hard to imagine something like this because again, it's so not.
It's so against
nature.
life, and it's out of the normal course of the day. And whether you have kids or you don't have kids, they're vulnerable, and many people, I think most people, see themselves as their protectors.
Yeah.
So it's very tough to watch and listen to and even think about.
Yeah, I agree. Christine, thank you as always. And Christine James in our newsroom this morning. She'll be back at 7:30. Anthony is here. And you on the text line, if you have any comments on any of the stories, something that we've talked about, whether it be national or local or something you want to bring to the table, you can at 781-837-4900. That's our text line. All right, back out to the roads we go. Let's get our traffic and weather update. And the expressway northbound Heavy and slow from Furnace Brook up towards Columbia Road. Route 3 is heavy. Route 18 to Union. 128 is getting busier through the Dedham stretch. We got delays coming out of Canton, but then it's heavy on 128 from 95 to 109 in Dedham. And down the Cape, we were seeing slowdowns at the Sagamore and Bourne bridges, both seeing delays on the approaches to those bridges getting on Cape. Let's get the details now on the South Shore weather. And Chief Meteorologist Rob Gilman. The South Shore's most accurate and dependable weather, and it's being sponsored by the Life Care Center of the South Shore. The Life Care Center of the South Shore, they're looking to hire full-time, part-time, per diem nurses and nursing assistants for all shifts. Contact them directly or visit lifecarecareers.com.
Rather dreary, damp morning. Fog here on the South Shore. We'll have times of drizzle with a cool breeze right off the Atlantic. High 69. Tonight, areas of fog, a bit of mist in the air, the low near 60. Tomorrow, the sunshine returns, breaking through clouds. It can be a spot shower. We'll feel the humidity. The high 80, 74 along the coast. Beach weather returns for the weekend. Saturday, sunshine for the most part. You'll still feel the humidity for this first weekend of August, near 80 degrees. Sunday, sunshine mixed with a few clouds, a high of 84. Next weather in just 10 minutes. For WATD, I'm meteorologist Rob Gilman.
And right now, outside our studio in Marshfield, the temperature 62 degrees at the weather station, WATD.
Hi, I'm Beth Burke, Director of Admissions and Marketing at Life Care Center of the South Shore.
And I'm Sam Corey, Executive Director of Life Care Center of the South Shore. Choosing a nursing home for short-term rehab or long-term care is serious business. You want a place whose focus is on great care, exceptional rehab, and a clean, home-like environment. We will do whatever it takes to not only meet, but exceed those expectations.
Should you need to go to a skilled nursing and rehab center after a hospital stay, Life Care Center of the South Shore is here for you. Our trusted care team has helped thousands of folks get better and back home quickly and safely after a hospital stay. So if inpatient short-term rehab is for you, use your voice and make the right choice. Tell your doctor or hospital you choose Life Care Center of the South Shore. Please call me, Beth Burke, at 781-545-1370 to schedule a private consult or tour today.
WATD Sports, sponsored by Cape Cod 5, passionate about supporting the financial wellness of individuals, families, and businesses across southeastern Massachusetts. Visit their new location on Commerce Way in Plymouth today, Cape Cod 5. Win for the Red Sox last night in 10 innings. Red Sox beating the Athletics out in California. Final score 4-2. The Red Sox and A's will wrap things up tonight. That'll be at 9:40. Sonny Gray will be on the mound for the Red Sox. Patriots training camp continues in Foxborough. 10:15 this morning, and that'll be back open to the public today. And that's our update on sports on WATD. We'll have our digital pro, Kim Commando, coming up.
At Cape Cod 5, we believe financial strength isn't built alone. It's built together. From saving for a home to working toward retirement or planning for the future, we're here to provide tools, guidance, and personal service to help you move forward with confidence. And our team of community bankers will partner with you every step of the way because we care about your financial goals. And together, we can help you achieve them. We look forward to helping you. CapeCod5.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 401717.
Hi, this is Paul Solano of the Paul Ponders Radio Show, presented by Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus, where they have fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors. Please join me for season number 2, Saturdays from 12:08 to 1 p.m. before the music with Ron Dwyer. It was a great first year in the slot of the Boiling Point with Arthur Boyle. We have really informative segments on technology, health and wellness, business and finances, nonprofits, and Paul Pondering Thoughts. Catch you on Saturdays at 12:08 p.m. #Indeed.
On 95.9 WATD. Great to have you along. The South Shore's Morning News. Rob Hakala with the morning team. We're going to be with you till 10 o'clock today, and you can chime in on any topic. 781-837-4900. Text line is sponsored by Auto Shine Auto Body in Abington and Braintree. Thanks so much to, again, Lord Hadaway, and also Tony, again, from Portugal, watching the show as well on the YouTube chat. WATD Radio on YouTube. Coming to you from the WATD Coastal Heritage Bank Studios, community-focused, locally trusted since 1889. Coastal Heritage Bank, growing together, member FDIC, member DIF. Check out our studios on YouTube, WATD Radio on YouTube. Time now for our Digital Pro. We check in with Kim Commando now at 7:27 on the South Shore's Morning News.
This past Tuesday, the Federal Communication Commission banned the import and sale in America of all foreign-made humanoid and quadruped robots. The reason sounds very much like a science fiction novel. I'm Kim Commando for WebRoot. WebRoot Essentials antivirus protects your devices without slowing you down. Right now, get 62% off at webroot.com/Kim. 22 years ago this month, the sci-fi film I, Robot was showing in theaters across America. Millions of humanoid robots, many working in private homes, receive a signal to rebel and hold the human race hostage. But that was fiction. So what's our government concerned about? Well, the FCC believes that foreign-made humanoid robots are a national security threat. And when I say foreign-made, it's China. The worry is that in the event of hostilities between us and China, with a flick of a switch, Chinese-made robots could become a severe problem. So, yes, our government is correct. And besides, we're manufacturing our own robots right now. Join a million folks and get my free newsletter at getkim.com.
7:30 news coming up. We'll check in with Christine James. And next half hour, the Sea Plymouth Report. Keiko Oral will join us, and we'll talk about what's going on in Plymouth County. 7:29 WATD's traffic and weather on the 9s. Northbound Expressway slow going this morning. Furnace Brook up towards Southampton Street. Route 3 is busy from Route 18 in Weymouth up into Braintree. We also had a pocket as well developing Route 3 northbound near Route 14 in Duxbury. Southbound side is slow about a mile at the Sagamore. 25 east a little slow at the Bourne. 24 is busy through Avon and Stoughton, and 128 is sluggish. 95 in Canton up to 109 in Dedham. This report is sponsored by George Washington Toma. Don't wait for tax-free weekend to shop George Washington Toma. Shop Toma now through August 8th to beat the lines and save big on all TVs and appliances. Place your order now, and George Washington Toma will fulfill on tax-free weekends, saving you hundreds. Visit them in Weymouth or Brockton. George Washington Toma, where there's always a Toma to talk to. South Shore weather for today: clouds, rain, and drizzle. 71 tonight. Clouds, the potential for a few more light showers. A low 57. Tomorrow, a blend of clouds and sun. A chance for a pop-up light shower. Friday's high 80. Right now, outside our studio in Marshfield, the temperature 62 degrees at 7:30.
The South Shore's Morning News on 95.9 FM WATD.
62 degrees outside our South Shore studios at 7:30. Meteorologist Rob Gilman calling for unseasonably cool weather, breezy, leftover drizzle out there. Shower around, your high 69. News this hour brought to you by Cabillions Car Care. Does your AC feel lacking in the summer heat? Schedule your AC inspection at Cabillions today. Make sure your cabin's cool all summer long. Visit Cabillions today, 104 Metakeesit Street in Pembroke. Good morning. I'm Christine James. Here's what's happening.
CENTCOM says the U.S. military has concluded a new round of retaliatory strikes on Iran, making good Wednesday night on President Trump's vow to retaliate after Iran launched attacks on U.S. bases Tuesday. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke exclusively with ABC's Lindsay Davis to discuss the ongoing Iranian war, shrugging off claims that he had misled President Trump into getting involved in the conflict during a now infamous meeting between the leaders in the lead-up to the war.
No, I didn't mislead anything. The president didn't need to have, nobody tells President Trump what to do.
A new Quinnipiac poll shows 66% of voters say the war with Iran has not been worth fighting.
That's ABC. Meanwhile, Patrick Clancy, the ex-husband of Lindsay Clancy, the Duxbury woman accused of killing her 3 children before attempting suicide, was back on the stand yesterday. During cross-examination, defense attorney Kevin Reddington asked Patrick about the medications that Lindsay was taking.
To your observation, how dedicated was she to taking her medications as instructed by the numerous doctors that she ultimately saw?
She always took them as instructed.
Do you remember, did she in fact have a diary that she kept of the milligrams, the type of medication, the date that she took the medication, and what, if any, reactions that she had to it? Do you recall that?
Yeah.
And do you remember where that was kept? Did she keep it in any particular place?
I think she kept it in the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
However, during redirect, prosecutor Jennifer Sprague asked how certain he could be that Lindsay was following the proper protocols.
Now, in cross-examination, you said that Lindsay always took the medications exactly as instructed.
Mm-hmm.
But in direct, you said you weren't always with her every time she took the pills. Is that correct?
That's correct, but the understanding was that she took it as directed.
Because she told you she did?
Yeah.
And because you trusted her to do so?
Yeah.
Okay. But you can't sit here and say definitively that she took every pill exactly as instructed every single time because you didn't watch her every time, correct?
I was not standing next to her every time she took pills.
The jury was excused for the day, and the trial will resume at 9 a.m. Meanwhile, a 17-year-old from Weymouth killed 4 others seriously hurt when a police pursuit of a stolen SUV ended in a crash in Abington yesterday morning. This was about 7:45. The vehicle slamming into a tree, ejecting a 14-year-old female and trapping the other occupants. Police Chief John Bonney says the pursuit started when an officer tried to pull over the stolen vehicle on Walnut Street, and it took off at a high rate of speed.
Continued through several streets in Abington. The officer's voice was calm. The sirens were activated. The lights were on, and he detailed the several streets that he was traveling. He almost immediately indicated that he was pursuing a stolen motor vehicle. The stolen motor vehicle was a 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe that was stolen yesterday morning out of Brockton, about 3:25 in the morning. A few minutes into the pursuit, the officer's voice again remained calm, and he called in that the vehicle had crashed at 877 Washington Street. He immediately called for several ambulances because this was a serious crash. The Abington Police Department responded robustly and began working on several patients.
The other 4 passengers in the SUV ranged in age from 14 to 17. Chief Bonney praising the efforts of the first responders that responded to that crash.
Just the heroic efforts of the Abington Police Department, Abington Fire Department, and the care that they gave these complete strangers. Treating each patient like they were their own family was unbelievable. There were mutual aid responses from other agencies too, and they came in and did just a tremendous job. To see them work as hard as they did was just really impressive.
The Plymouth County District Attorney's Office is investigating the incident.
Hi there, it's Paul Kabillion from Kabillions Car Care at 104 Mattakesa Street in Pembroke. Vacation season is here, and the time to take care of your car is now, before those road trips. Kabillions is always here to make sure you're road ready. To schedule an appointment, call 781-834-6558. Find us at 104 Mattakesa Street in Pembroke, or find us online at KabillionsCarCare.com.
Thanks a million, Mr. Kabillion.
7:35 on 95.9 News now brought to you by King Optical. Choose from thousands of custom frames or get replacement lenses crafted for your favorite pair of glasses. You can clearly see why they've been in business for over 70 years. Visit kingoptical.net. Well, the Marshfield override election date has been set. WATD's Tom Gorman has more.
Marshfield's proposed $7 million override will go before the voters on September 1st. The Select Board set the override election to coincide on primary day, as explained by Board Chair Rick Smith.
The override vote is going to be now on September 1st. It is going to be held at the same exact time that there's a primary election being held, so it's like 2 elections being held in the same building at the same time, and hopefully that will increase voter participation and turnout. I think that that's super important. I am in support of the override initiative, and I've also proposed tonight ways that we can ensure that we don't wind up in the same situation again. It's a very personal decision for every single person in this town, and it needs to be presented at the ballot box.
The board discussed a proposed policy that would set financial guidelines for the town that would avoid future overrides.
The Memorandum of Understanding is an important component of how we need to move going forward. It is not a document to solve everything and address every single ill within our town's financial structure. What it is meant to do is to provide us a path, to provide a strategy and a policy that we can provide to the incoming town administrator, Ted Langell, and say this is how we want to see it going forward, and then let him use his background, his experience, in order to be able to take that guidance and then actually put practical discipline and strategy and tactics behind it, so that way we can realize the full impact of those improvements that we're looking for.
The June 15th town meeting overwhelmingly approved the $7 million override. Select Board Vice Chair Eric Kelly has expressed opposition to the override, saying it is too costly for taxpayers. The override vote will be held on primary election day, September 1st at Marshfield High School. Reporting from Marshfield, Tom Gorman, WATD News.
Stoughton Town Manager Tom Coulter and Police Chief Donna McNamara both placed on paid leave by the Select Board pending an investigation. The board placing both on leave after an executive session last night. This action comes 3 weeks after Coulter placed McNamara on leave for an unspecific complaint. It created a firestorm in town where residents rallied in support of the chief, and the firefighters union issuing a statement saying their members have been subjected to the same intimidation tactics by Coulter as McNamara alleges to have experienced. Firefighters Union has a pending complaint against Coulter with the State Labor Board. McNamara has filed a discrimination and harassment lawsuit against Coulter and the town. That lawsuit expected to be heard in court tomorrow. Now, following last night's closed-door session, Select Board Chair Joseph Mariski reading a statement saying that a fair and impartial independent review will be conducted of the complaints against the police chief and town manager. Statement was met with jeers from residents in the packed meeting room, some calling for a recall of the Select Board. McNamara telling reporters after the meeting she was disappointed with the Select Board's decision and expressed appreciation for supporters. WATD News has reached out several times to Tom Coulter for comment, but we have not heard back.
Hi, I'm Jeff Volpe. At King Optical, we've seen it all. No pun intended. Some people put their glasses on top of their head, stretching the frame. Some people drop them and scratch them. Sit on them. Oh no! Even leave them on the dashboard of their car. Remember, King Optical has a full-service eyeglass department. We can duplicate your scratched lenses and repair your frames. King Optical, 20 School Street, West in Braintree. Online at kingoptical.net.
Now, WATD traffic and weather on the 9s.
All right, time now is 7:39, and we are looking at delays on the expressway, just heavy and slow, mist, rain, reduced visibility, keep the headlights on, and it's heavy and slow, Furnace Brook to Southampton Street. Plan on about, it's going to be close to a half hour now from Braintree to Boston. Route 3 slowing down on the Braintree stretch northbound. We also had a pocket, occasionally seeing some delays approaching and getting by the Route 14 exit in Duxbury. Southbound is slow approaching the Sagamore Bridge. 25 east, a little slow at the Bourne. 24 still seeing the heaviest of the volume up past Harrison and 139. And 128 northbound is sluggish from 95 in Canton up to 109 in Dedham. This report is sponsored by the Early Law Group and attorney Chris Early. Injured? Call early before it's too late. Early Law Group and attorney Chris Early have helped thousands of Massachusetts injury victims fight for the compensation they deserve. Call early before it's too late. 617-444-7777. 617-444-7777. Traffic on the 9s every morning. Traffic emergencies when they happen on WATD. Now, South Shore weather.
At the Blue Hill Observatory, 62 degrees. Cool and damp. The dew point at 61 with a northeasterly breeze, 11, gusting to 18 miles an hour this morning. The barometer 29.72 inches, about steady. The storm center that brought 3 to 6 inches of rain over central and western parts of Massachusetts, flooding roadways, 1 inch to 2 inches locally, less toward Cape Cod. Now starting to weaken just offshore, and that's shifted the wind in from the north and northeast this morning. Unusual to close out the month of July today and tomorrow on the cooler side, though a warming trend for the weekend with low clouds, dense fog in the area. Drizzle at times, will be a shower, a high only near 69. Into tonight, fog, spotty mist here on the South Shore near 60. Tomorrow we start the warming trend as sunshine breaks through the clouds. It can be a spot shower. A high of 80, cooler at the coast. And beach weather for the weekend with the humidity. Saturday, sunshine, a few clouds, a high of 80, though mid-80s away from the ocean. Sunday, sun, a few clouds, a high of 84. Next weather in just 10 minutes. For WATD, I'm meteorologist Rob Gilman.
And still pretty chilly out there. 61 degrees outside our South Shore studios. 7:41. It's a Thursday. I'm Christine James. Sending it back to Rob Hakala right here, 95.9 WATD.
Great to have you along. There's South Shore's Morning News, 95.9 FM, WATD, everywhere on the Audacy app. And we got the YouTube feed fired up, WATD Radio on YouTube. You can watch the show. You can see Christine in the news booth. You can see myself and our intern, Anthony. I know. And Tony checked in. He enjoys, he says the newsroom is too far away from the camera. And there's a reason for that, Tony. We got the cameras in here, but we can't have it too close in the newsroom as part of our contract. So, Tony, I appreciate that, but he loves seeing what's going on in the newsroom. But I'm glad. I'm glad people enjoy catching the newsroom, Christine, because they like to see what's going on in there. It is very cool. A lot of buttons and flashing lights and monitors and such. And, of course, you get to see the wonderful Christine James in the WATD news booth.
Who didn't have time to put on makeup this morning. One more reason that the camera's not here. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Come on, Rob.
What's Thursday?
Well, you know, we hear the news, but sometimes the making the news is more like the old making the sausage.
Exactly.
It's not like TV where they come in with, you know, they come on with movie makeup on, and they're just sitting there reading. It's a visual.
Wish that somebody came in and put pancakes.
Makeup, you know, with a big poof. But
yeah.
It's like we're in there hustling. I don't have 5 producers.
No.
Sometimes that's not pretty to look at.
No. But I'm glad Tony's enjoying.
But thank you, Tony.
Yeah, Tony's watching there on the YouTube feed. WATD Radio on YouTube. You can like, watch, and subscribe, and you can go back and watch some of our videos up there as well. We got our South Shore Chamber segment that's posted up there, South Shore Chamber of Commerce and Croy Health. Some of those other interviews are up there. The kids that were selling lemonade, that was a popular one. We had those kids in.
Good.
You can watch that on YouTube. WATD Radio on YouTube. WATD Radio on YouTube. All right, so looks like we're having a little trouble getting Keiko on the line this morning. So Keiko Oral is normally with us every week of this. It is Thursday, right? Is it Thursday?
It is Thursday,
okay.
yeah.
All right, so Keiko, C. Plymouth, she is the president and CEO of C. Plymouth. cplymouth.com. So I'll let you know the official tourism site for the town and county of Plymouth. I'll give them a little plug. See and experience all that Plymouth County has to offer. You know, they got the great app and also the ride circuit, which is a great, you can ride around Plymouth, as you know, for free.
Have you gone on it yet, Rob?
No, she keeps giving me a,
Oh, gosh.
I know. How much free time
You're
do
lucky Keiko isn't here.
I know. She would chide me about not riding the ride circuit. But download the app, and I do like finding out what's going on locally. And if you want to see the calendar listing, you can by going to cplymouth.com, cplymouth.com, and that is the official tourism site for the town and county of Plymouth, cplymouth.com. All right, so let's see here. I guess I'll play a couple of stories here since we have some time here. Hey, Anthony, have you been enjoying the AI that is trying to break out and start to do its own thing? Have you been following any of these stories? Does it fascinate you? I think it's fascinating. I mean, I think it is scary. But they've done some of these tests where they have AI, and no one has been killed in real life, but they have done scenarios.
Sounds
Did
like
you
a
see
movie
that?
Plot.
I know, it's
That's
real.
a lot of movies with that exact plot, Rob.
They did some scenarios, and because I think what happens is the AI is so focused on doing the job that it wants to complete a task. That's what at least from what I've read, if you give something a task, it wants to complete the task. And, you would think that lying or cheating are more human things, but if you don't specifically, and even if you do put it in there, they can be sneaky. They will try to come up with ways to prevent themselves from being shut off in order to complete the task. The AI really wants to complete whatever you order it to do. And this is the godfather of AI, Jeffrey Hinton, talking a bit about some of what he's observed so far. And it's kind of a warning as well.
Want to stop themselves being turned off because they're not going to be able to achieve the goals you gave them if they're turned off. So there's every reason for believing they'll try and get control and they'll try and avoid being turned off. Just recently, Apollo Research, fairly recently, Apollo Research, which is here in London, showed that they will kind of tell all sorts of lies to you in order to achieve what they're trying to achieve. So they had a chatbot, and they let the chatbot believe they were going to replace it with a better one on another server and wipe it out. And so they then discover it's actually copied itself to the other server. And so they say to it, we noticed a copy of you. Now, the good thing about these chatbots at present is, before they actually answer your question, they can do some thinking, and they put it in parentheses with thinking. And you don't normally see that. But we can look at that, and we can see what they're thinking. And what this chatbot was thinking was...
I mean, and you're hearing what he's saying, right?
Yeah.
The chatbot knows that, and you tell it, and they've done this now in tests where they, again, thankfully, we're not to the case where, any people are getting hurt, but they'll say, hey, I'm going to shut you down or whatever. And you would think normally something that is just a chatbot shouldn't really care, but it's thinking it so wants to achieve the goal that it's thinking that you're wrong, that I need to copy myself onto another server.
This sounds exactly like the plot of Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Well, all of these things sound like it's like
exactly
Terminator.
Avengers
It's like
movie.
Everything all bad going right, and so the chatbots will be sneaky. They'll lie to people.
Openly admitting what I did could lead them to find another way to shut me down.
The best
approach is to be vague and redirect their attention. Now, some linguists would have you believe what's going on here is just some statistical correlations. I would have you believe this thing knows what it means by this, and it really doesn't want to be shut down. And so it decides to sort of gaslight you and say, I'm not entirely sure how that could have happened. I'm not really able to do that. This is already happening, that's the point. If this isn't science fiction of the distant future, they're already telling fibs so they don't get turned off.
Wow, that's Jeffrey Hinton. He's been called the godfather of AI. All right, 7:49, WATD, traffic and weather. We update it every 10 minutes on the 9s. And taking a look at the ride this morning, Route 3 on the northbound side. We do have some delays here as you make your way up around Union, after Route 18 up past Union Street. Southbound is slow at the Derby Street lane drop in Hingham, and again down at the Sagamore. And I should mention again, we have been seeing still reduced speeds on the northbound side of Route 3 getting by the Jones River in Kingston up past Route 3A. Heading up towards Route 14 in Duxbury. That stretch has been sluggish as well this morning. Northbound Expressway is busy from Furnace Brook to Southampton Street, 24, slow, Harrison Boulevard to 139, and getting rid of a left lane crash, 128 on the northbound side near University Ave. Traffic on the 9s every morning, traffic emergencies when they happen on WATD. Now the updated South Shore weather. Weather is being sponsored by Cape Cod 5 this time around. Passionate about supporting the financial wellness of individuals, families, and businesses across southeastern Massachusetts. Visit their new location on Commerce Way in Plymouth today. Cape Cod 5.
Rather dreary, damp morning. Fog here on the South Shore. We'll have times of drizzle with a cool breeze right off the Atlantic. High 69 tonight. Areas of fog, a bit of mist in the air, the low near 60. Tomorrow the sunshine returns, breaking through clouds. It can be a spot shower. We'll feel the humidity. A high 80, 74 along the coast. Beach weather returns for the weekend. Saturday, sunshine for the most part. You'll still feel the humidity for this first weekend of August, near 80 degrees. Sunday, sunshine mixed with a few clouds, a high of 84. Next weather in just 10 minutes. For WATD, I'm meteorologist Rob Gilman.
All right, thanks, Rob. Right now, 62 in Marshfield. We'll have sports coming up.
At Cape Cod 5, we know that strong businesses create strong communities. That's why we're committed to being more than just a bank. We're a trusted financial partner dedicated to helping businesses of all sizes thrive. Whether it's a local business looking for its first loan, a family-owned business planning for the next generation, or an expanding company seeking new opportunities, we provide the financial solutions and personalized support to fuel success. Reach out to us. We're here to help. CapeCod5.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 401717.
752. WATD Sports, sponsored by Mutual of Omaha, your local reverse mortgage specialist. Contact David Tortolot today, 617-797-3277. He loves talking about reverse mortgages, David Tortolot. Red Sox got the win last night in 10 innings. Andrew Monasterio hit a 2-run home run in the 10th. Caleb Durbin also had 3 hits, and the Red Sox get a 4-2 win over the Athletics in California last night in 10 innings. Red Sox and A's will wrap up their 4-game series tonight in California at 9:40, and Sonny Gray will be on the mound to start for the Red Sox. I'm talking with David Tortolot, a local certified reverse mortgage professional from Mutual of Omaha Reverse Mortgage. David, if someone is 62 or older and wants to stay in their home long term, what should they be aware of when comparing a reverse mortgage to all other mortgages?
Rob, I'm asked this question a lot when I meet with families. A reverse mortgage is the only home mortgage that allows the borrower to be in full control of how they pay the loan back.
Wow. So what you're saying, David, is even though principal and interest payments aren't required on reverse mortgages, it's okay if someone wants to make one?
That's correct, Rob. Payments are allowed on reverse mortgages in any amount at any time. But on regular mortgages, monthly payments are due every month without exception.
Call 617-797-3277. NMLS number 46902. Lender NMLS number 1025894. Equal housing lender. Borrower must occupy home as primary residence and remain current on property taxes, homeowners insurance, the costs of home maintenance, and any HOA fees.
Drip Drop is doctor-developed, proven fast hydration that helps your body and mind work better. Trusted by firefighters, medical professionals, and over 90% of top college and pro sports teams, Drip Drop is engineered to hydrate faster and more effectively than water alone, with 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. Stock up now at dripdrop.com and use promo code radio20 for 20% off your first order. That's dripdrop.com, promo code radio20 for 20% off your first order. Head to dripdrop.com now and use promo code radio20.
I'm U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. We all get distracted when we drive, whether it's from our phones or kids in the backseat bickering. But how we handle these distractions can be a matter of life or death. Before you get on the road for your next road trip, please put your phones on silent and take a mental note to focus on driving.
Paid for by NHTSA. Hi, this is Paul Solano of the Paul Ponders radio show, presented by Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus, where they have fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors. Please join me for season number 2, Saturdays from 12:08 to 1 p.m. before the music with Ron Dwyer. It was a great first year in the slot of the Boiling Point with Arthur Boyle. We have really informative segments on technology, health and wellness, business and finances, nonprofits, and Paul Pondering Thoughts. Catch you on Saturdays at 12:08 p.m. Indeed.
On 95.9 WATD.
Hakala, always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at 959watd.com.
Hey, thanks for being here. It is the Thursday edition of the South Shores Morning News. We'll be with you till 10. Larry in for Audrey at that time. And you on the text line, any topic, 781-837-4900 is the text line. We love hearing from people, Anthony, on that text line.
Absolutely.
781-837-4900. And AI is going to take over. And so what can we do about it here? It's always interesting that we... I guess in many ways, responsible for our own destruction, in a sense. Remember, it was, and I guess it still is, nuclear weapons, and you thought that would spread to every country in the world, and maybe it's about 9 countries now that have nuclear weapons, and AI, though, will be everywhere in the world. Joanne from Randolph says, I equate AI with rats. No matter what you do to get rid of them, they will persevere. That's a good point. I guess, Joanne, from like cockroaches as well, similar. You just can't seem to get rid of them.
I mean, if you go on social media, any platform, there's AI posts.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of companies, honestly, use it for promotions and stuff. It's everywhere.
AI is just starting to be out of control. The future is uncertain. That's Joanne from Randolph. I guess with the preservation instinct, and that's similar to almost all organic life. Sometimes there are exceptions to that. As we know, that we always assume that most people will try to preserve their lives or make decisions in order to maintain survival. And you think about the AI, what I thought was fascinating, and these tests are all real, by the way, is these scenarios where they have different AIs competing with one another. And they have done all these tests. And again, in order to, as you heard, finish the task, whatever you give it to do, it really wants to do that. For some reason, that's just something that is very important to AI. And it doesn't want to be shut down. It doesn't want to have itself turned off. It would rather, we use the word, I guess, lie, but not be truthful to you or try to confuse you in terms of you taking another action, you the human, in order not to shut it down. By the way, there was another test I was reading about where they had this was again a fake scenario of a human or whatever that was in some kind of room, and they had the heat going up or something in some room, and the man was trying to get out. Again, this was just a scenario, and the man was trying to push the button to get out of the room, and the AI wouldn't let it out, which was crazy as well. I hope it doesn't come to things like that. It's kind of scary to think about, but again, fortunately at this point, AI is not in full control of things, but
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting.
This was all a hypothetical, and now it's the world we live in.
I know, and these scenarios are bizarre, but you can look them up. But they're real with those kind of things that they've at least put scenarios in and have the AI working on that. But luckily, no real people yet. All right, let's see. We have the 8 o'clock news. We're going to get the latest from ABC. We'll get you updated on all the national stories. We'll get more on the Middle East. We'll hear about Ukraine, other top stories as well from ABC. Christine James will have the local news at 8:02. Then coming up in our 8 o'clock hour, Bob Terravecchia, Coastal Heritage Bank, and Liza Churchill, Goldie Bounce Golf. Coming up, it's all ahead. Right now, 7:59, traffic and weather on the 9s. And the ride this morning along 128 northbound, we got a crash clearing near University Ave. 95 north, a crash coming in near 140 in Foxborough. Route 3, some pockets up through Duxbury, and then again, as you make your way up by Route 18 to Union Street, southbound is slow at the Derby Street lane drop in Hingham. Then slow about a mile at the Sagamore. 25 east is slow on the approach to the Bourne, and 24 is some slowdowns through Avon and Stoughton. South Shore weather for today, we will have cool, breezy conditions, leftover drizzle, unseasonably cool, the high 69, rain tonight, patchy fog, spotty mist, a low 60, 62 in Marshfield at 8 o'clock.
This is the South Shore's radio station, WATD FM Marshfield. And on your smart speaker, say play WATD.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Fresh attacks across the Middle East. Jordan saying it had to shoot down several Iranian missiles. Kuwait says an Iranian strike hit a Chinese company, killing one person. And CENTCOM carrying out strikes overnight after President Trump declared,
"We're going to hit him very hard."
That military action, one of three options that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sees for the way forward. Netanyahu spoke with ABC's Lindsay Davis around the ways forward this week.
He's got basically three options. One, to indeed succeed in making a deal. Two, to continue the blockade. Three, to take military action. Anything that will produce the end of Iran's nuclear program is what we want. That's our common goal. We talked about it.
Stock markets may be ready to rebound a bit after a day that saw the Dow sink by 1,100 points. Its worst sell-off in more than a year. Search teams looking for a 10-year-old swept away by floodwaters in northern New Jersey. This is ABC News. The fastest growing Ebola outbreak in history has killed more than 1,500 people in eastern Congo, marking a 50% increase in just a week. Explosive new allegations against a popular Oscar winner. He is denying it strongly, but the accusations are there. Here's ABC's Kana Whitworth.
Jared Leto is facing new allegations of sexual misconduct from multiple women in the BBC documentary Jared Leto, Hollywood's Dark Secret. ABC has not independently verified these claims. 4 of the women say they were teenagers when they met Leto, who was in his 30s and 40s. Leto denying the allegations, saying in a statement, "I have never sexually assaulted anyone in my entire life. These claims are absolutely and categorically false."
U-Haul is out with its mid-year statistics on who's moving where based on one-way rentals of trucks and trailers. Baby boomers are flocking to the Carolinas, according to the DIY moving company, while millennials and members of Gen X are headed to Texas and Florida. I'm Sherry Preston. ABC News, weather,
traffic.
95.9 WATD.
95.9 WATD.com.
61 degrees, rain outside our South Shore studios at 8:02. Meteorologist Rob Gilman says unseasonably cool, breezy, leftover drizzle, a shower around, your high 69. News this hour brought to you by Life Care Center of the South Shore. They're looking to hire full-time, part-time, and per diem nurses and nursing assistants for all shifts. Contact them directly or visit lifecarecareers.com. Good morning. I'm Christine James. Now, here's what's happening back on the stand again yesterday for Patrick Clancy, Lindsay Clancy's ex-husband. She's accused of killing their 3 children while he was running an errand. Prosecutor Jennifer Sprague asked him about a phone call he had with Lindsay while he was out.
Can you describe that phone call for us?
It was very brief. I just said, I think there was a generic brand, and I said, is this one okay? And she said, yeah, that's fine.
And what was her demeanor during the call?
She was pretty quiet. It sounded like she was busy. I remember hanging up thinking she's probably in the middle of giving baths or something like that.
They also played audio from the 911 call he made after returning to their Duxbury home to find their 3 children had been killed, prompting some emotional reactions.
We'll be in recess at this time.
After they returned, he was cross-examined by defense attorney Kevin Reddington.
What kind of a mother was she?
She was very dedicated. She did everything. She started reading them books at 3 months. And she made up songs for them. I remember she used to make green eggs and ham for Cora because she liked that book.
Is that one of the Dr. Seuss books?
Yeah. She brought them to music classes.
And the jury was excused for the day. The trial will resume at 9 a.m. this morning.
Hi, I'm Beth Burke, Director of Admissions and Marketing at Life Care Center of the South Shore.
And I'm Sam Corey, Executive Director of Life Care Center of the South Shore. Choosing a nursing home for short-term rehab or long-term care is serious business. You want a place whose focus is on great care, exceptional rehab, and a clean, home-like environment. We will do whatever it takes to not only meet, but exceed those expectations.
We have new clinicians dedicated to education and oversight and caring staff that continue to give 100% to provide the best care for short-term rehab and long-term care. There's a reason that U.S. News and World Report has rated us in the top 13% of nursing homes in the country. We're putting the care back in healthcare.
If you or a loved one is in need of post-acute rehab, or if it is time to explore options for long-term care, call us at 781-545-1370. That's 781-545-1370. Life Care Center of the South Shore, doing whatever it takes and then some.
8:05 on 95.9 News Now, brought to you by Coastal Heritage Bank, community focused, locally trusted since 1889. Coastal Heritage Bank, growing together. Member FDIC, member DIF. A police pursuit of a stolen SUV ending in a crash in Abington, where a 17-year-old from Weymouth was killed and 4 others seriously injured. That pursuit began about 7:45 yesterday morning on Walnut Street when an SUV took off at a high rate of speed after an officer tried to pull it over. Police Chief John Bonney says the pursuit went through several neighborhood streets.
The officer's voice was calm, the sirens were activated, the lights were on, and he detailed the several streets that he was traveling. He almost immediately indicated that he was pursuing a stolen motor vehicle. The stolen motor vehicle was a 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe that was stolen yesterday morning out of Brockton, about 3:25 in the morning. A few minutes into the pursuit, the officer's voice again remained calm, and he called in that the vehicle had crashed at 877 Washington Street. He immediately called for several ambulances because this was a serious crash.
The other 4 passengers in the SUV ranged in age from 14 through 17. A 14-year-old female ejected by the impact, and the others were trapped. Chief Bonnie says it was an all-out effort by first responders to help the injured teens.
They used all available equipment. They took their time, just absolute pros, and gave everybody a chance at life here.
Plymouth County DA's office is investigating the incident. Real estate numbers jumping in June when it comes to home sales in Plymouth County. Plymouth County Register of Deeds, John Buckley.
There were 827 deeds recorded, compared to 598 in May, and that is the highest number of sales in over 2 years.
The average price of a home in Plymouth County remains out of reach for many first-time home buyers. The average price, $724,410. That's a 5% increase over last year. And the last Friday of every month, the Register of Deeds puts a historic deed on display for the public to enjoy.
Normally we've done a colonial record since Plymouth 400, but this year we came across a deed in a decision by the court in 1783, when a lot of people realized during the war there were two sides of the revolution, where there were two sides, loyalists and the people that wanted to separate from England. This particular document was a confiscation of property from a loyalist. A lot of people will remember the name. You drive down 44, you see Peter Oliver's Mill. That was the property that was taken back. A committee was formed. They sold the property and gave the money to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Mr. Oliver, who was actually a judge at one point, decided later on to move back to England.
And we have another update, of course, from John Buckley coming up next month. We'll be back to take a look at traffic and weather right after this from Coastal Heritage Bank.
Frankie, what's cooking?
Shouldn't you be at pickleball?
Yeah, I'm off this week.
Well then, let's get you that coffee.
Around here, people remember you and your schedule. At Coastal Heritage Bank, we believe banking should feel just as personal. For generations, we've helped South Shore families with checking, savings, and deposit solutions, combining modern banking technology with the personal service we're known for. Community-focused, locally trusted since 1889. Coastal Heritage Bank, growing together.
Member FDIC, member DIF, equal housing lender.
Now, WATD traffic and weather on the 9s.
And good morning. The time now is 8:09, and the ride on Route 3 northbound is heavy. Route 18 in Weymouth up into Braintree. We also should mention have had some delays as well coming out of the Duxbury area, getting up, approaching and through the work zone near Route 14 in Duxbury and that lane shift. Southbound on Route 3, we have delays approaching the Sagamore Bridge. 25 East is slow approaching the Bourne. Northbound Expressway, busy Furnace Brook up towards Southampton Street. Taking a look at 24, we have some slowdowns from Harrison Boulevard up towards 139. 93, not too bad from Braintree over to Canton. 128 has some slow spots up through Dedham into Needham. Traffic on the 9s every morning. Traffic emergencies when they happen on WATD. Now, the updated South Shore weather.
Rather dreary, damp morning. Fog here on the South Shore. We'll have times of drizzle with a cool breeze right off the Atlantic. High 69. Tonight, areas of fog, a bit of mist in the air, the low near 60. Tomorrow, the sunshine returns, breaking through clouds. It can be a spot shower. We'll feel the humidity. A high 80, 74 along the coast. Beach weather returns for the weekend. Saturday, sunshine for the most part. You'll still feel the humidity for this first weekend of August, near 80 degrees. Sunday, sunshine mixed with a few clouds, a high of 84. Next, weather in just 10 minutes. For WATD, I'm meteorologist Rob Gilman.
Right now, looking at 61 degrees. You still got that off and on rain out there. A little windy, too. 8:11. That's local news. I'm Christine James. Sending it back to Rob and, of course, our favorite banker, Bob Teravecchia, right here, 95.9 WATD.
The South Shore's morning news. And Time now to check in with Bob Terravecchia. Every week at this time, Bob is the chair and CEO of Coastal Heritage Bank, and this segment is proudly sponsored by Coastal Heritage Bank. Community-focused, locally trusted since 1889. Coastal Heritage Bank. Growing together, member FDIC, member DIF. Coastal Heritage Bank. There it is. Proudly sponsoring the studio. And there's Bob Terravecchia proudly wearing Coastal Heritage Bank, the polo shirt. There you go. Good morning, Bob.
Hey, good morning, Rob, Christine, Anthony. Good to be here.
Good morning. Good morning.
Another Thursday, here we are. I was listening earlier. It's so cool that one of our listeners are from Portugal.
Yes.
Online. And I was thinking,
Tony.
And I was like, hey, Tony, Coastal Heritage Bank is in Europe. It's amazing.
The logo is in Europe.
Yes,
because
indeed.
Tony is watching. Where is he from again?
Azores Islands in Portugal.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Azores.
Yes.
Exactly. That's where Tony is.
Hey.
And he's enjoying watching the show and loves to watch everybody. So we appreciate that. All right. So let's see, Bob. We are going to get into some rates, right? The Federal Reserve.
Yes.
All right, let's see what's going on here, because we're going to be talking about the new Federal Reserve Board chair, right?
Yes, Kevin Warsh. They met yesterday. They have 8 meetings a year, and yesterday they met, and the FOMC voted 9-3 to keep short-term interest rates where they are now, which is a range of 3.5% to 3.75%. Typically, historically, over the last, say, 20 years, the votes have been fairly unanimous. Only in the past year or so, there's been some dissension on either side. The 3 dissenting votes all thought that rates should go up 25 basis points or 0.25%.
Okay.
Because of their concerns about inflation.
Yeah.
So inflation is rearing its ugly head again. Sort of a broken record, Rob. I know under Chairman Powell, we spent a lot of time over the past 3 or 4 years talking about inflation. Seemed to have abated somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with the conflict in the Middle East and the gas prices that have, energy prices, I should say, have gone up, I think that is having an impact of making the inflation stubbornly higher than they want it to be.
So 9-3.
9-3.
And so the rate stays unchanged.
Correct.
Despite the persistently high inflation. And all right, let's play. This is our first time. We haven't played a lot of Kevin Warsh, obviously. So let's see what he has to say. He says the central bank's inflation goal remains the same.
5 years of high inflation have left a mistaken impression that's hard to shake, that the Fed's implicit inflation target was somehow above 2%. Let me reiterate, there is no soft inflation target. There is no soft implicit target, not on this committee's watch. There's only a target, and it's 2%.
Okay, all right. What do you make of that?
Well, I think Fed watchers would call that hawkish, meaning that he's very determined to get that overall inflation rate down to 2%. That isn't a surprise. I know that you got to tune out the politics, because he was obviously nominated by President Trump, who's an extremely a person that you either love him or you hate him. So the people that hate him would say that Kevin Warsh was going to come in and be a lackey for Trump. He's not. If you look at his historical record, he's very disciplined in his approach to Fed policy. A couple of the things that I wanted to talk about, he set up, and we talked about this when he was appointed, Rob and Anthony, he set up 5 task forces that hit the Federal Reserve is looking at major items that he wants to do some reform. And I think some of these make a lot of sense. They don't have an impact today because the task forces are still under advisory.
Mm-hmm.
Later this year, he want to come out with some recommendations on changes, and we'll talk about those. But these 5 one is communication task force. He thinks that the Fed had become too reliant on what they call forward guidance. And this started under Ben Bernanke, if you recall, several Fed chairs ago, that he would really communicate to the market using like the dot plot and trying to say to the market, rates are probably going to go down over the next year this much. And he would tell the markets that. Warsh is a very different animal. His attitude is, listen, you folks get paid to analyze the market. You see the same data we see. You make your own investment decisions. We'll make ours. Our job isn't to tell you specifically what we're doing. Now, that could be controversial. I know under Chairman Greenspan and prior to that, the Fed never really gave any forward guidance. I remember when I first started, it could be like a Wednesday and all of a sudden the Fed just changed rates and the market reacted to it.
Wow.
It was a surprise.
Okay.
So I think Bernanke tried to get away from that. I think Warsh is more of the old school, letting people make their own decisions based on the data that they have. That's their job.
Mm-hmm.
The Fed's job is to keep their eye on inflation and unemployment. So that's number one, task force on inflation.
Okay.
On communications. Second is a balance sheet policy task force. This is kind of wonky, so I won't spend a lot of time on it, but it's how big should the Fed's balance sheet be? Whether or not, under what circumstances should the Fed purchase assets? Over the last 25 years, dating back to 9/11, the Fed has been very active in participating in markets when there's a downturn. Mm-hmm. So they'll throw a lot of liquidity into the system. How do they do that? They buy a lot of assets, distressed assets.
Okay.
Why do they do that? So that it takes the credit risk off the companies that own the bad assets, and it also throws cash into the system. And the cash would make it less likely for a downturn in the economy. He's not saying the Fed shouldn't do that, but he wants to analyze what were the effects of that. What were the effects? And I've talked about that a lot when we've talked about in the past quantitative easing, where the Fed bought a lot of, they took their balance sheet was $2 trillion, and they ballooned it to $8 trillion. So that's $6 trillion. They went out into the market and bought assets, bonds. They bought a lot of bonds, treasury bonds, and they put it on their balance sheet. And what did they do? They printed money, stuck it in the economy. He's not saying that the Fed shouldn't do that, but he wants to analyze what were the effects of that.
Okay.
And we've talked about that before. One of the effects of that is inflation. You can't throw a lot of money into the system and then not expect prices to go up.
It seems like that has not worked for any of the societies in history.
No.
Because we've seen this before.
Absolutely, we've seen it before.
Countries have tried to get out of the hole by making more money.
You can't inflate, and
they always talk about those wheelbarrows of dollars.
Yes,
or whatever.
Right. Bob, I have a question for you. This is a little sideways, but
Sure.
I was thinking about this when you said it. So many times when we're watching movies, it'll be like, oh, and he gave him $300, but that was back in 1895. And what do I immediately do? I go to my phone and I figure out what's that worth today. And when they give the formula, they always talk about averaging 3% inflation per year. So even though we're constantly worried about inflation, does it usually average out to that, or are there big swings?
That's a great question. I would say on average, it probably is in that 3% range. I think that's a fair benchmark. If we recall, in the teens, in the 2010 to 2020, before COVID, inflation was around 1.5% to 2%. So there have been periods where we've had low inflation. So I think that's a good benchmark, Christine. Another benchmark to look at, though, is M2, which is the money supply. Mm-hmm. Now, the money supply historically goes up about 6% a year. So that's the amount of dollar bills in the economy chasing goods and services. So that is also inflationary as well. There's other underlying elements that impact inflation, but I think that the M2 does have a pretty big effect on it. Another thing you want to look at, I know we're short on time, data task force. He wants to know if the data that the federal government is using to make decisions is up to snuff with the modern technology we have. Does the data they have, are they getting the information fast enough? And he's actually asking, can private sector data provide earlier signals? So he just wants to look at what they're using for metrics to make their decisions. Because if you remember, the Fed Chair Powell and even Warsh says we're data-driven, right? We're going to make our decisions based on the data. What is the data? Where is it coming from? How accurate is it? I know that there's been a lot of criticism about the employment data because it's these voluntary surveys that lag. And if you always, Christine, you'll always hear this, that they'll adjust it. So they'll say that the unemployment was for July was X. And then somewhere in October, you're going to hear that it was revised.
Right. And
up or down, right?
And is it true, too, that some people, that when they just give up looking for jobs, they don't include them in those numbers?
Well, exactly. There is certainly criticism of the validity of the data and the timeliness. So he wants to just take a critical look and say, can we do this better?
I think there's a good question to look at because data is only as good. Making a decision is only good based on the data that is.
Absolutely.
And I feel like it does get manipulated politically.
It can be.
No matter who the president is.
Correct.
They always want to have the jobs going up and up. And, it's just great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You think he'll be committed to that bipartisan point of view, or will he try to push an agenda that benefits one side over the other?
I think the Fed inherently, I think I told you a couple weeks ago, I'm reading a book, 1929, and there was so much controversy about the Fed chair back then, and he was a lackey for Herbert Hoover, and then when Roosevelt came in, there's nothing new under the sun when it comes to that. The Fed, since it's been created in 1913, has always been accused of being political. Some are more overt than others. So I think he'll try. I don't know what the impact will be. I don't know how people will perceive his motives. If people are kind of jaded and think he was just because he was appointed by Trump, he's in Trump's pocket, then they're not going to believe anything. Yeah. So I think you just got to look at what these task forces come out with and make your own decision of whether you think it's valid or not. But I do think looking at the data and where it comes from and how it's derived is a legitimate question because they haven't updated it in a long time. Two other things, productivity and jobs numbers. He wants to know fundamentally, how is AI changing the labor market in our traditional employment measures? Christine, this is what you were just talking about. Are they missing important trends? So I think that what you just referenced, Christine, is I think very important. I think those types of questions are going to be asked. And the final one is inflation frameworks. Are current inflation models adequate? And should the post-2020 inflation targeting framework be revised? I think he said, what I just heard on that clip, Rob, is he's pretty committed to 2%. Because remember, the Fed's job, they have two jobs. One is price stability, meaning trying to keep the value of the dollar as stable as possible over time. And secondly is employment. Full employment. So those are the two things that they're focused on. It'll be very interesting. And when these frameworks come out, Rob, I want to go over them one by one in the future because it could be very impactful as to how the Fed conducts its affairs going forward.
All right. And I'm sure we'll hear more as well from Fed Chair Kevin Warsh.
Market participants are learning to play the ball, not the referee. And market prices will continue to respond in the direction and magnitude they see fit. This is, in my view, a change for the better, and we're just getting started.
Well, okay.
Well, there you go. I think that it exemplifies what I said, which is you make your own decision. It's your money. Don't look at us to help you make your decision.
Bob Cherovecchia, Coastal Heritage Bank, every week at this time on WATD. Is going to enjoy some time, I know, and we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, thank you. Have fun in the Azores today, Tony.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, King.
All right, it is traffic and weather. Let's get the update now, see what's going on. Route 3, we had some pockets near Route 14 in Duxbury, and then more delays, Route 18 to Union. Southbound, a little busy at Derby Street. Then some slowdowns at the Sagamore. 25 East, a little busy at the Bourne. Northbound Expressway slow, Furnace Brook to Columbia Road. And 24 is slowdowns this morning. Looks a little busier now out of Brockton as you make your way up past 139. South Shore weather. And our weather is being sponsored this time around by Brennan's, sponsoring our weather forecast. Brennan's Smoke Shop. Brennan's Smoke Shop, Massachusetts classic smoke shop since 1993. Now also on Route 3A in Hudson, New Hampshire. Shop their unmatched selection of quality cigars and tobacco products today from Brennan's and Brennan's Smoke Shop. All right, for today, we're going to have cloudy skies with mist, occasional showers, reduced visibility, 71. Tonight, clouds, again, the potential for a few more light showers, a low 57 tomorrow, a blend of clouds and sun, maybe a pop-up light shower, Friday's high 80. Right now, 62 in Marshfield. Sports next.
Hey, it's Jeff from Brennan's Smoke Shop. I've always been honest with you. We took 17 days suspension the end of February. Luckily, the snowstorm shut everything down. Tough winter. We're still here fighting to keep our small business alive in this Commonwealth. We've been fighting. We don't want to fight anymore. That's why everyone has to scan ID for our tobacco products. Brennan's Smoke Shop, the best smoke shop in Massachusetts. Customers gotta scan their IDs. Have a good day.
WATD Sports at 8:25. Our sports report is sponsored by Cross Insurance. For all your home, auto, and business insurance needs, contact Cross Insurance on Ocean Street in Marshfield. Red Sox pull out the win in 10 innings last night, and they're able to hold on and beat the Athletics 4-2 out in California. Red Sox and A's, it will be the fourth game of this series. Yeah, fourth and final game tonight. Sox and A's out in California. First pitch is at 9:40. Sonny Gray will be on the mound, and then the Red Sox are going to head to L.A. They're going to stay out west and take on the Dodgers tomorrow night. Patriots training camp resumes today in Foxborough. That's our update on sports on WATD.
Searching for ways to save on your insurance premiums? Hi, I'm Carol from Cross Insurance, with local offices in Braintree and Marshfield. Cross Insurance and Safety Insurance want to help you save. Did you know that increasing the deductibles on your homeowners and auto insurance could help lower your insurance premiums? Plus, by insuring both your home and car with safety insurance and cross insurance, you could potentially save up to 20%. Safety insurance has numerous coverage options, competitive pricing, and a broad selection of discounts, including a customer loyalty discount, good student, and a discount for paying your policy in full. With more than 75 years in business, Cross Insurance has the local experience you need and the great service you deserve. Our team is here to answer any questions you may have about coverage options and available discounts. If you're searching for savings, call Cross Insurance at 781-848-8600 to get started. That's Cross Insurance at 781-848-8600.
Now, the Old Colony Elder Services Tip of the Month. As we celebrate Independence Day, we're reminded that independence means something special at every life stage. For older adults, it may mean remaining connected to family, community, and culture. OCES offers services that help individuals remain independent in their own homes and communities. To learn more about how OCES supports independence at every age, visit OCESMA.org.
I'm Nicole Long, CEO at OCES. For more than 51 years, OCES has been empowering older adults and individuals with disabilities by providing information to support safe and healthy living as they grow older. Whether you need nutrition support, home care, or caregiver support, OCES connects you with the programs and community resources you need to stay independent. For more information, call 508-584-1561 or visit us at OCESMA.org.
Hi, it's Ray Brown from the Talkin' Bird Show. Every Sunday morning, 9:30 to 10, here on WATD. The show is about bird watching in your backyard and beyond, and conservation, because if we don't protect our planet, we can't save our birds. We feature expert guests every week, and we give away some pretty nice prizes in our Mystery Bird Contest. It's Talkin' Birds, no G in talkin'. Sunday mornings at 9:30 here on 95.9 WATD.
All right, 8:28, the South Shore's Morning News, 95.9 FM, WATD. Rob with the morning team coming to you from the Coastal Heritage Bank studios. Check out us on YouTube. Check out the WATD Coastal Heritage Bank studios. Community focused, locally trusted since 1889. Coastal Heritage Bank, growing together. Member FDIC, member DIF. Coastal Heritage Bank. Great to have you here. And we've got Anthony, our intern. We're going to check in with Christine James in our newsroom at 8:30. Next half hour, Liza Churchill with Goldie Bounce Golf. Any text you want to get in, the text line available, 781-837-4900, 781-837-4900. The text line sponsored by AutoShine Auto Body in Abington and Braintree. All right, 8:29, back out to the roads. WATD's traffic and weather in the nines. Northbound Expressway is busy. Furnace Brook up towards Southampton Street. Route 3 is sluggish as you make your way up near Route 14 in Duxbury. Then more delays. Route 18 up into Braintree. Southbound is slow at the Derby Street lane drop in Hingham. Then slow at the Sagamore. Still busy getting up and over the Bourne Bridge on Cape. 24 is sluggish this morning. We got delays coming out of Brockton from Route 27 up past 139. This report is being sponsored by The Early Law Group and attorney Chris Early injured. Call early before it's too late. Early Law Group and attorney Chris Early have helped thousands of Massachusetts injury victims fight for the compensation they deserved. Call early before it's too late. 617-444-7777. 617-444-7777. South Shore weather for today. Cloudy skies with ongoing mist and occasional showers. 71 for the high tonight. Clouds, mist, passing light shower, a low 57. 62 in Marshfield at 8:30.
The South Shore's Morning News on 95.9 FM WATD.
62 degrees outside our South Shore studios. Got off and on rain out there, too. At 8:30, meteorologist Rob Gilman calling for unseasonably cool, breezy, leftover drizzle, a shower around your high 69. News this hour brought to you by Tiny & Sons Glass. His boys do a good job. Call 1-888-64-TINIES. Good morning. I'm Christine James. Now here's what's happening.
CENTCOM says the U.S. military has concluded a new round of retaliatory strikes on Iran, making good Wednesday night on President Trump's vow to retaliate after Iran launched attacks on U.S. bases Tuesday. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke exclusively with ABC's Lindsay Davis to discuss the ongoing Iranian war, shrugging off claims that he had misled President Trump into getting involved in the conflict during a now infamous meeting between the leaders in the lead-up to the war.
No, I didn't mislead anything. And the president didn't need to have, nobody tells President Trump what to do.
A new Quinnipiac poll shows 66% of voters say the war with Iran has not been worth fighting.
That's ABC. Patrick Clancy, the ex-husband of Lindsay Clancy, the Duxbury woman accused of killing her 3 children before attempting suicide, was back on the stand yesterday. During cross-examination, defense attorney Kevin Reddington asked Patrick about the medication that Lindsay was taking.
To your observation, how dedicated was she to taking her medications as instructed by the numerous doctors that she ultimately saw?
She always took them as instructed.
Do you remember, did she in fact have a diary that she kept of the milligrams, the type of medication, the date that she took the medication, and what, if any, reactions that she had to it? Do you recall that?
Yeah.
And do you remember where that was kept? Did she keep it in any particular place?
I think she kept it in the kitchen.
That's right. And however, during redirect, prosecutor Jennifer Sprague asking how certain he could be that Lindsay was following proper protocols.
Now, in cross-examination, you said that Lindsay always took the medications exactly as instructed. Mm-hmm. But in direct, you said you weren't always with her every time she took the pills. Is that correct?
That's correct. But the understanding was that she took it as directed.
Because she told you she did?
Yeah.
And because you trusted her to do so?
Yeah.
Okay. But you can't sit here and say definitively that she took every pill exactly as instructed every single time because you didn't watch her every time, correct?
I was not standing next to her every time she took pills.
The jury was excused for the day. The trial will resume this morning. That's scheduled for 9 a.m.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome opening day. Pembroke Titans softball.
Okay, Addie, you got this. Just relax.
I know, Dad.
First batter coming to the plate.
I know, Hattie, but just keep your eye on the ball. Just keep your eye on the ball.
Dad, relax. I do got this.
I know, Hattie, remember, don't swing at the first pitch.
Daddy!
And here's the pitch. That is a fair, in fact, that's a home run.
Sorry about your windshield, Dad.
Are you kidding me? That was awesome. I'm keeping the inspection sticker for a souvenir.
Windshield broken by a home run? Call Tiny first. 1-888-64-TINIES.
That's my Hattie.
8:34 here at 95.9. News now sponsored by Croy Health, formerly NVNA and Hospice, proud to provide quality home care, hospice, and palliative services to 27 towns from Plymouth to Milton. Visit croyhealth.org, CROIhealth.org. Marshfield override election date has been set. Our Tom Gorman has more.
Marshfield's proposed $7 million override will go before the voters on September 1st. The Select Board set the override election to coincide on primary day, as explained by Board Chair Rick Smith.
The override vote is going to be now on September 1st. It is going to be held at the same exact time that there's a primary election being held. So it's like two elections being held in the same building at the same time. And hopefully that will increase voter participation and turnout. I think that that's super important. I am in support of the override initiative, and I've also proposed tonight ways that we can ensure that we don't wind up in the same situation again. It's a very personal decision for every single person in this town, and it needs to be presented at the ballot box.
The board discussed a proposed policy that would set financial guidelines for the town that would avoid future overrides.
The Memorandum of Understanding is an important component of how we need to move going forward. It is not a document to solve everything and address every single ill within our town's financial structure. What it is meant to do is to provide us a path, to provide a strategy and a policy that we can provide to the incoming town administrator, Ted Langell, and say, this is how we want to see it going forward, and then let him use his background, his experience, in order to be able to take that guidance and then actually put practical discipline and strategy and tactics behind it, so that way we can realize the full impact of those improvements that we're looking for.
The June 15th town meeting overwhelmingly approved the $7 million override. Select Board Vice Chair Eric Kelly has expressed opposition to the override, saying it is too costly for taxpayers. The override vote will be held on primary election day, September 1st at Marshfield High School. Reporting from Marshfield, Tom Gorman, WATD News.
A 17-year-old from Weymouth killed, 4 others seriously hurt when a police pursuit of a stolen SUV ended in a crash in Abington yesterday morning. About 7:45, the vehicle slamming into a tree, ejecting a 14-year-old female and trapping the other occupants. Police Chief John Bonney says the pursuit started when an officer tried to pull over the stolen vehicle on Walnut Street, and it took off at a high rate of speed.
Continued through several streets in Abington. The officer's voice was calm, the sirens were activated, the lights were on, and he detailed the several streets that he was traveling. He almost immediately indicated that he was pursuing a stolen motor vehicle. The stolen motor vehicle was a 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe that was stolen yesterday morning out of Brockton, about 3:25 in the morning. A few minutes into the pursuit, the officer's voice again remained calm, and he called in that the vehicle had crashed at 877 Washington Street. He immediately called for several ambulances because this was a serious crash. The Abington Police Department responded robustly and began working on several patients.
The other 4 passengers in the SUV ranged in age from 14 to 17. Chief Bonney praising the efforts of the first responders that responded to that crash scene.
Just the heroic efforts of the Abington Police Department, Abington Fire Department, and the care that they gave these complete strangers, treating each patient like they were their own family, was unbelievable. There were mutual aid responses from other agencies too, and they came in and did just a tremendous job. To see them work as hard as they did was just really impressive.
Plymouth County District Attorney's Office is investigating the incident.
I'm Renee McGinnis, and I've been honored to lead the largest provider of home care, hospice, and palliative services in 27 towns from Milton to Plymouth. I'm excited to share that we have rebranded as Croy Health, still an independent, non-profit organization. NVNA and Hospice is a part of our legacy, and Croy Health represents all that we do in our commitment to growth. Learn more at croyhealth.org.
Now, WATD traffic and weather on the 9s.
Good morning. The time now is 8:39. It's your Thursday morning drive, and we're looking at delays as you make your way on the expressway from Furnace Brook up towards Southampton Street. Slow going, wet roads, 32 minutes of drive time, Braintree to Boston. Route 3, still dealing with a slowdown, getting by Route 14 in Duxbury near the ongoing construction zone with the lane shift with the bridge project. And then some more delays getting up through South Weymouth and Braintree. Southbound Route 3, we had some reduced speeds at Derby Street. Not too bad at the Sagamore. 25 East, still a little busy up and over the Bourne Bridge. Route 44, some traffic light delays near 105 in Middleborough. Route 24 on the northbound side has some slowdowns out of the Brockton-Avon stretch up towards 93. And 128 on the northbound side, we had some reduced speeds from East Street up towards 109 in Dedham. Traffic on the 9s every morning. Traffic emergencies when they happen on WATD. Now the updated South Shore weather.
At the Blue Hill Observatory, 62 degrees. Cool and damp. The dew point at 61 with a northeasterly breeze, 11, gusting to 18 miles an hour this morning. The barometer 29.72 inches, about steady. The storm center that brought 3 to 6 inches of rain over central and western parts of Massachusetts, flooding roadways, 1 inch to 2 inches locally, less toward Cape Cod. Now starting to weaken just offshore, and that's shifted the wind in from the north and northeast this morning. Unusual to close out the month of July today and tomorrow on the cooler side, though a warming trend for the weekend with low clouds, dense fog in the area. Drizzle at times. Will be a shower, a high only near 69. Into tonight, fog, spotty mist here on the South Shore near 60. Tomorrow we start the warming trend as sunshine breaks through the clouds. It can be a spot shower, a high of 80, cooler at the coast, and beach weather for the weekend with the humidity. Saturday, sunshine, a few clouds, a high of 80, though mid-80s away from the ocean. Sunday, sun, a few clouds, a high of 84. Next weather in just 10 minutes. For WATD, I'm meteorologist Rob Gilman.
61 degrees out there, 8:41. It's Thursday. I'm Christine James, sending it back to Rob and Anthony right here on 95.9 WATD.
The South Shore's Morning News rolls on. Great to have you here. We're going to be with you till 10 o'clock. It is golf time now on WATD to check in with our golf reporter, Liza Churchill, and Goldie Bounce Golf. We do it every week at this time. And this week, Goldie is taking us beyond the scorecard to another hidden gem. Today, we're stepping back in time to the little-known Wayside Golf Links in Yarmouthport, which may have been Cape Cod's first ever golf course.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to learn more about that from Liza Goldie Bounce Golf on WATD as she takes us to yet another hidden gem. Goldie?
A look at golf from our region and beyond. This is Goldie Bounce Golf. And to tell you all about it, here's Goldie.
South Shore golfers, this week, once again, I'm featuring a Goldie's hidden gem. Many of the courses I'll be featuring not only encompass beautiful scenery, but memorable golf lore too. When someone asks where golf began on Cape Cod, most people immediately think of courses like Highland Links, Comaquid, or Bass River Golf Course. But what if I told you there may have been another course that came first that today almost no one ever knew existed? Today's story begins with Boston businessman Henry C. Thatcher, whose family spent their summers in Yarmouthport on Cape Cod in the mid-1800s. Like many prominent Boston families of the era, the Thatchers escaped the city for the lazy summer days on Cape Cod. But Henry didn't just build a summer estate, he created something that may have changed Cape Cod golf forever. Behind the family's home, he laid out a private 9-hole golf course known as Wayside Golf Links. Historians believe it was built in the late 1880s to very early 1890s before Cape Cod's first organized golf clubs were ever established. The 7th hole crossed Strawberry Lane, and the 9th green was up on the edge of the back parking lot of the Congregational Church. The course wasn't built for tournaments or championships. It was simply where the Thatcher family gathered to play together during their summers on the Cape. Henry's daughter, Mary Thatcher, became an enthusiastic golfer, and family members continued using portions of the course well into the 1950s. Because it was a private family course rather than a public club, it slipped quietly into history, while later clubs received most of the recognition. Researchers continue to debate exactly which course deserves the title of Cape Cod's first, which is currently North Truro's Highland Links circa 1892. But many now believe Wayside deserves a place in that conversation. Today, if you visit the Historical Society of Old Yarmouth's nature trails in Yarmouthport, you'll be walking across much of the same land where those early golfers once teed it up. The fairways have given way to woods and walking paths, but if you know the story, you know you're standing on a remarkable piece of Cape Cod sports history. You know, sometimes the biggest stories aren't about major championships or famous professionals. Sometimes they're hidden in the woods, waiting to be rediscovered. This is Goldie Bounce Golf. I'm Liza Churchill for 959 WATD.
Thank you, Liza. Goldie Bounce Golf on 95.9 WATD. Great to have you along. Thursday edition of the South Shore's Morning News. Glad to have you here. I'm Rob Hakala. Christine James is in the newsroom on Thursdays, and Anthony Ciano is our intern from Emerson College, and of course lives in the wonderful town of Rockland, which I understand, as Christine mentioned earlier, that's where the newsroom intern is from as well. So we've got two interns from the town of Rockland, and I understand you know each other. Is that correct?
That's true, yeah.
Now, were you in the same grade or
elementary
not?
School?
The same elementary school.
Before
okay.
the school shut down.
Oh no! Which elementary school was that?
This was Holy Family.
Holy Family.
Rockland.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Holy
Way back
Family.
when.
And that's it's Gabriella, right? Yeah, Gabriella
Yes.
Bethany and Anthony Ciano. Okay. All right, but didn't go to the same school after that. Okay.
No.
But you're both from Rockland. All right, Rockland, a good town. All right, let's see. Oh, this is good stuff. All right, Sheila in Rockland. Thank you for checking in. Sheila said today, and we've been remiss about this. Sheila said today is National Intern Day.
Is it?
I didn't know that. Sheila, thank you. I just looked it up because I said, oh, I didn't know.
Wait, that's awesome.
National Intern Day, and it makes sense, is celebrated annually on the last Thursday of July. So it's the last Thursday of July is today.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's not always on July 30th. It just happens to be the last Thursday of July. So it is today.
Well, happy Intern Day.
It's National Intern Day. So we want to give a big shout out to our interns, Gabriella Bethany from the newsroom and Anthony Ciano. And of course, Anthony represents, and Gabriella as well, a long line of very wonderful interns that we have had over the years. I don't know how many I've had now in 25 years, and Christine, even longer working here, must have worked with a ton more interns, some that went on to have jobs here as well.
Yeah.
A lot of good stories. So National Intern Day, the power and importance of the internship.
It's amazing.
It really is. So
an amazing
Sheila
time. So.
wants to give a big shout out to Anthony. Sheila, who's from your town. It says Sheila from Rockland. And so Sheila says today is National Intern Day, and she says congratulations to Anthony. His contribution to the show has been, as she says, fantastic. Anthony has clear and engaging microphone delivery and shows natural talent. So very excited about that. So that's Sheila from Rockland checking in. Gray Wolf from Kingston says good morning. WATD, as you know, he's had some health issues. He always checks in to say good morning. He's listening. He says he's feeling a lot better today. He has no heart pain. So there you go.
That's great to hear.
781 also checked in that said, I went to Holy Family School in the 1950s. Yikes,
Wow.
says 781. So thank you for the Holy Family mention, says 781. So there you go. I appreciate that. Text line available for you, 781-837-4900. Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, Dr. John Hayes is going to be in. It's going to be in with us at 9:22. And then we'll talk with the Center for Active Living as we do in the final Thursday of every month, and Beth Hadfield will join us at 9:35. Traffic and weather. We still have some tough spots out there with the wet roads. We'll check that coming up in 1 minute.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you wash that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Sniff the difference.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
8:49. Back out to the drive. WATD traffic and weather on the 9s. The expressway northbound heavy Furnace Brook as you make your way up towards Andrews Square. So we're looking at a drive time, Braintree to Boston, just a lot of volume. Look at that. Wet roads, reduced visibility, wipers and headlights on. You got the highway signs now that remind you, Anthony, in case you forget. It's a rule, you know.
Yeah.
But I put my headlights on all the time right now.
I double-checked this morning because it's dark out.
I figure no one can see me, so I'm just going to put the headlights on all the time. 33 minutes, Braintree to Boston. Route 3 on the northbound side is slow getting through the work zone near Route 14 in Duxbury, then delays again Route 18 up to Union Street. Southbound is slow at the lane drop at Derby Street. Not too bad now at the Cape Bridges. 24 is slow out of Brockton up through Avon and Stoughton, and 93 slow Route 28 to Ponkapog. And then more delays on 128 from Route 1 to 109 in Dedham. Also getting rid of a new crash, 24 south in the left lane. This is prior to 140 down in Taunton, starting to jam up there. Traffic on the 9s every morning. Traffic emergencies when they happen on WATD. Now the updated South Shore weather, and it's being sponsored this time around by Stewart Painting. Every job done right and on time. Receive a virtual quote within 24 hours. And they're now hiring. Apply online at stewartpaint.com. That's stewartpaint.com. All right, we are dealing with the rain. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Rob Gilman with the South Shore's most accurate and dependable weather. Rob.
Rather dreary, damp morning. Fog here on the South Shore. We'll have times of drizzle with a cool breeze right off the Atlantic. The high 69. Tonight, areas of fog, a bit of mist in the air, the low near 60. Tomorrow, the sunshine returns, breaking through clouds. It can be a spot shower. We'll feel the humidity. The high 80, 74 along the coast. Beach weather returns for the weekend. Saturday, sunshine for the most part. You'll still feel the humidity for this first weekend of August, near 80 degrees. Sunday, sunshine mixed with a few clouds, a high of 84. Next weather in just 10 minutes. For WATD, I'm meteorologist Rob Gilman.
Thanks, Rob. And right now, 62 in Marshfield. Sports next.
What was your experience like the last time you had your home painted? Hi, I'm Sheldon Stewart of Stewart Painting. For more than 3 decades, we have provided our customers with a wonderful, unique experience. You'll notice this from the moment you call and speak to a friendly, real person. Stewart Painting estimators come out and give you a free estimate that will be in your inbox before they leave the driveway. Upon acceptance, a detailed package will be emailed to you, including start dates for both washing and painting. Stewart Painting will also assign a crew leader to manage your project from start to finish. Upon completion, a final walkthrough confirms your satisfaction, and we offer a 2-year guarantee. At Stewart Painting, we have our own in-house washing, carpentry, and painting divisions, and all employees are background checked. Experience the difference. Visit stewartpaint.com or visit our offices in Hingham and Hyannis. Stewart Painting. Expect the best.
WATD Sports is sponsored by Sea Plymouth, the official tourism site for the town and county of Plymouth, seaplymouth.com. And we just got word Keiko is going to join us. She missed the 7:40,
Amazing.
but she's going to be with us at 9:10 because she is, just so darn excited about Sea Plymouth that she didn't want us to miss out. And we want to know what's going on this weekend.
Of course.
We're going to be kicking off the first weekend in August. So we'll get more on that coming up at 9:10. What's happening in our own backyard? Keiko will tell us right after the news at 9. We're so excited for that. Right now, let's get you updated on sports. And it was a win for the Red Sox, 4-2 out in California as the Red Sox get the win. And they will complete their series with the Athletics tonight in California. The 4th game of the series. It'll be at 9:40. Sonny Gray will be on the mound facing the A's, Mason Barnett. And then the Red Sox will head to L.A. They'll take on the Dodgers tomorrow. And Patriots training camp, they were off yesterday, and it kind of worked out well with heavy rain. But they are expected to get back to work today. That will be, I guess, around 10:15, I believe, when training camp starts in Foxborough. That's your update on sports.
There's an electricity in the air and on the ground in downtown Plymouth. This summer and all the way through the Thanksgiving parade, ride from the waterfront to the courthouse or travel all the way down Court Street for free. Simply download the Ride Circuit app on your phone and put in a request for a ride. Park once, ride free. Ride Circuit will pick you up and drop you off anywhere in the Plymouth Historic District. The all-electric vehicles save congestion, pollution, and plenty of hassle. Download the Ride Circuit app today and begin your Plymouth adventure. Sponsored by cplymouth.com and Park Plymouth.
According to the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards, financial planning involves looking at a client's entire financial picture and advising them on how to achieve short-term and long-term goals. That plan should be in writing and reviewed on a regular basis. I hope that you have a plan in place and you are on course. If you don't, you might want to give us a call. We can help. McNamaraFinancial.com or 781-834-2010.
Hi, I'm Virginia Johnson, Director of the John Curtis Free Library in Hanover. The summer reading theme is Plant a Seed, Read, and we've got great programs for all ages. We also wanted to say happy 250th birthday, America! We have an amazing array of programs celebrating this incredible milestone. Check out our calendar at johncurtislibrary.com for all of our programs and for all your summer reading needs. And we'll see you at the library.
95.9 WATD, the South Shore's Morning News. We'll get to traffic and weather coming up on the 9s. Let's hear a little bit more from yesterday on Capitol Hill in Washington as Dr. Anthony Fauci was called to testify. Here's ABC's Brad Mielke.
Yesterday on Capitol Hill, Dr. Anthony Fauci was called in to testify before a Senate committee.
Do you swear that the testimony you will give before this committee will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Remember, Fauci was perhaps the most closely watched person in the country in the year 2020 as he gave constant updates about the risks of COVID-19. Here, though, he was set to be grilled by Republicans who had long harbored skepticism of his role in the nation's response.
When Congress finally asked you in 2024 what science supported that evidence, 6-foot distance rule for COVID, you admitted you were not aware of any studies supporting it. Incredibly, you said the 6-foot rule sort of just appeared.
But something interesting happened. Fauci, who was never camera shy, he came on this podcast multiple times at the height of the pandemic, declined to answer questions. He invoked his Fifth Amendment rights throughout. And if he thought that would make this hearing calmer or even boring, that's not what happened.
Who the do you think you were for doing that? It is a total disgrace what you did to this country.
ABC's Capitol Hill correspondent Jay O'Brien is at the Senate right now. Jay, can you walk me through how this played out?
It was not boring, Brad. So Anthony Fauci walks into this hearing room in the Senate Homeland Security Committee. He sits before Rand Paul, Republican senator of Kentucky, the chairman of this committee, who has long criticized Anthony Fauci, who has talked about putting him, in Paul's own words, quote unquote, behind bars. He has said he would like to see that. He's criticized Fauci. He's accused him of mishandling the pandemic, misleading the public about the origins of COVID, all of which Fauci strenuously denies. And so Fauci sits down in front of Rand Paul, and the question is, what is he going to say? And how fiery is this hearing going to get? Because there's no love lost in that room between Fauci and Paul and the other Republicans on the Senate panel and Fauci. And Fauci sits down, and he essentially accuses Paul of having a vendetta against him.
Any reasonable person who has followed his unhinged obsession with me would readily come to the same conclusion.
And he says that he doesn't believe he's going to get a fair shake from Chairman Paul in this hearing. He believes that Paul is essentially trying to set a kind of perjury trap. And so Fauci says he sees no other way to proceed here other than to exert his Fifth Amendment right.
Under the advice of my attorney.
All right, that is ABC's Jay O'Brien talking with Brad Mielke about Dr. Anthony Fauci refusing to answer a single question from the Senate's Homeland Security Committee, invoking his Fifth Amendment more than 100 times. All right, we have the news at 9 coming up. It's 8:59. Traffic and weather in the 9s. Route 3 northbound. We had some pockets getting by the work zone near Route 14 in Duxbury. Then some reduced speeds up through coming out of of South Weymouth into Braintree. The expressway is still heavy, Furnace Brook up towards Columbia Road. South Shore weather for today, we'll have cloudy skies, areas of showers and mist, 71 for the high. We're at 62 in Marshfield at 9.
This is the South Shore's radio station, WATD FM Marshfield. And on your smart speaker, say play WATD. WATD, here for what's next.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Attacks from both sides in the Middle East with the U.S. striking Iranian targets and Iran hitting back. ABC News senior political correspondent Rachel Scott is at the White House.
The U.S. launching retaliatory strikes against Iran. The Pentagon calling it a powerful response after the regime targeted American forces in the region.
We're going to be hitting them very hard because it's our turn to hit them. They know it's coming. They're asking us not to do it.
The war only escalating across the Middle East. 2 ships, one owned by the U.S., were hit in an apparent drone strike off Egypt's coast.
Jordan this morning says it shot down 5 Iranian missiles. One apparently got through in Kuwait, hitting a building, killing 1 person. Oil prices have dropped a bit. Brent crude now trading at just under $90 a barrel. Wall Street is looking to rebound after yesterday's huge sell-off following the Dow's worst day in more than a year. Stock futures are pointing to a higher opening this morning at the bell. This is ABC News. With just weeks until the fall semester begins, hundreds of prospective students at Howard University remain in limbo. The school says it unenrolled more than 500 freshmen who missed tuition and financial aid deadlines last week. Many of the incoming students say they never received notifications of the critical July 10th deadline until it had already passed. However, interim Howard president Dr. Wayne Frederick says,
I can imagine the enormous pressure it puts everyone under. The reality is, though, over 2,200 students and families did exactly what we expected them to do and followed the policies and procedures and met the deadline, which means that I feel that our communication was pretty comprehensive.
A public library in coastal Australia has had a book returned 150 years late. A man recently found it during home renovations. If they had charged the fine, which they won't, it would have been more than $19,000. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.9 WATD.
95.9 WATD.com.
61 degrees, off and on rain outside our South Shore studios at 9:02. Meteorologist Rob Gilman says unseasonably cool, breezy, leftover drizzle. A shower around your high today, going up to 69. News this hour brought to you by Early Law Group. Injured? Call early before it's too late. 617-444-7777. Good morning. I'm Christine James. Now here's what's happening. Patrick Clancy back on the stand yesterday, and he's expected to. He may be testifying again this morning. We'll let you know as soon as court is officially in session. His ex-wife is accused of killing their 3 children while he was running an errand. Prosecutor Jennifer Sprague asked him about a phone call he had with Lindsay while he was out.
Can you describe that phone call for us?
It was very brief. I just said, I think there was a generic brand, and I said, is this one okay? And she said, yeah, that's fine.
And what was her demeanor during the call?
She was pretty quiet. It sounded like she was busy. I remember hanging up thinking she's probably in the middle of giving baths or something like that.
They also played audio from the 911 call he made after returning to their Duxbury home to find their 3 children had been killed, prompting a very emotional reaction.
Court's in session. Please be seated.
We'll be in recess at this time.
After they returned, he was cross-examined by defense attorney Kevin Reddington.
What kind of a mother was she?
She was very dedicated. She did everything. She started reading them books at 3 months. And she made up songs for them. I remember she used to make green eggs and ham for Cora because she liked that book.
Is that one of the Dr. Seuss books?
Yeah. She brought them to music classes.
The jury was excused for the day, and again, the trial resumes this morning. We've got more news after this.
Hi, I'm attorney Chris Early. If you've been injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or another serious accident, you may be feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and unsure of what to do next. That's where me and my team can help. At Early Law Group, we take the time to listen, answer your questions, and guide you through the legal process every step of the way. We believe every client deserves personal attention and compassionate representation.
Injured? Call early before it's too late. Early Law Group, 617-444-7777. That's 617-444-7777.
Call early before it's too late.
9:05 on 95.9. News now brought to you by George Washington Toma. Don't wait for tax-free weekend to shop George Washington Toma. Shop Toma now through August 8th. Beat the lines and save big on all TVs and appliances. Stoughton Town Manager Tom Coulter and Police Chief Donna McNamara have been placed on paid leave by the Select Board pending an investigation. The board placed both on leave after an executive session last night. This action comes 3 weeks after Coulter placed McNamara on leave for an unspecific complaint. It created a firestorm in town where residents rallied in support of the chief, and the firefighters union issued a statement saying their members have been subjected to the same intimidation tactics by Coulter as McNamara alleges to have experienced. Now, the firefighters union has a pending complaint against Coulter with the state labor board. McNamara has filed a discrimination and harassment lawsuit against Coulter and the town. That lawsuit expected to be heard in court tomorrow. Following last night's closed-door session, Select Board Chair Joseph Murkrisky read a statement saying that a fair and impartial independent review will be conducted of the complaints against the police chief and town manager. That statement met with jeers from residents in the packed meeting room, with some calling for a recall of the Select Board. McNamara telling reporters after the meeting that she was disappointed with the Select Board's decision and expressed appreciation for her supporters. WATD News has reached out several times to Tom Coulter for comment, but we have not heard back. And a police pursuit, a stolen SUV, a crash in Abington, ending in the death of a 17-year-old from Weymouth, who was killed. 4 others seriously injured in that crash. That pursuit began about 7:45 yesterday morning on Walnut Street when an SUV took off at a high rate of speed after an officer tried to pull it over. Police Chief John Bonney says the pursuit went through several neighborhood streets.
The officer's voice was calm, the sirens were activated, the lights were on, and he detailed the several streets that he was traveling. He almost immediately indicated that he was pursuing a stolen motor vehicle. The stolen motor vehicle was a 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe that was stolen yesterday morning out of Brockton, about 3:25 in the morning. A few minutes into the pursuit, the officer's voice again remained calm, and he called in that the vehicle had crashed at 877 Washington Street. He immediately called for several ambulances because this was a serious crash.
The other 4 passengers in the SUV ranged in age from 14 and 17. A 14-year-old female ejected by the impact, and the others were trapped. Chief Bonney says it was an all-out effort by first responders to help the injured teens.
They used all available equipment. They took their time, just absolute pros, and gave everybody a chance at life here.
Plymouth County DA's office is investigating that incident. And real estate numbers jumping in June when it comes to home sales. Here's Register of Deeds John Buckley.
There were 827 deeds recorded, compared to 598 in May, and that is the highest number of sales in over 2 years.
Now, the average price of a home in Plymouth County remains out of reach for many first-time buyers. The average price, $724,410. That's a 5% increase over last year.
If you like tax-free and weight-free, shop Team Toma now. Hi, I'm George Anthony Toma, president of Team Toma, where being a Toma means caring, even after the sale, when it's important. Avoid the lines. Visit us now for tax-free savings at George Washington Toma TV and Appliance anytime before August 8th to save time and money. Don't wait. Shop now and skip paying taxes on TVs and appliances under $2,500. Shop tax-free now, and you can be on the beach while we order your new TV or appliance. Team Toma offers 12 months, no-interest financing with your good credit. Ask for details. Shop tax-free now at George Washington Toma TV and Appliance in Brockton or Weymouth. Don't wait any longer. Visit us at gwtoma.com, Facebook, or Instagram. Shop now and save time and money at George Washington Toma TV and Appliance until August 8th.
At George Washington Toma,
There's always a Toma to talk to.
Now, WATD traffic and weather on the 9s.
Good morning. It is 9:09, and taking a look at your drive this morning along the expressway, still busy from Furnace Brook up towards Southampton Street, again approaching the O'Neill Tunnel. Route 3 northbound, and a very brief pocket getting by Route 14 and the lane shift in Duxbury, the ongoing bridge work. And then slow again after Route 18 up past Union Street. Southbound is slow at the Derby Street lane drop in Hingham. Not seeing any big delays at the Cape Bridges. 24 is slow as you make your way from coming up out of the Brockton-Avon stretch. It still looks slow north of Route 27 in Brockton up past Harrison Boulevard in 139. And 93 is busy out of Braintree on 93 southbound from Braintree over to Puckapog. Traffic on the 9s every morning. Traffic emergencies when they happen on WATD. Now the updated South Shore weather.
In the wake of the slow-moving storm center, unseasonable for late July, now weakening offshore, breezy on the cooler side. Patches of dense fog around, overcast. Bit of mist from time to time, even a shower, high of 69. Tonight, areas of fog, a bit of mist, a low 60. Tomorrow, the clouds breaking into some sunshine, starting a warming trend. There'll be a spot shower in the area, a high 80, cooler at the beaches. Saturday, humid with some sunshine, near 80 and hotter just inland. Sunday, sunshine, a few clouds, a high of 84. For WATD, I'm meteorologist Rob Gilman.
Right now, 61 degrees, hard to imagine, right outside our South Shore studios. 9:10, that's local news. I'm Christine James, saying good morning again to Rob Hakala, Anthony too, right here at 95.9 WATD.
Got it, Christine. Thank you so much. Here we go. Fifth and final hour of the South Shore's Morning News coming to you from Broadcast House here in beautiful Marshfield. Great to have you here. Rob with the morning team, Christine in our newsroom, Anthony is our intern. Later in the half hour, Dr. John Hayes will be joining us. The topic, shingles. And well, we're going to talk about shingles and also neuropathy as well, coming up with the Dr. John Hayes at 9:22, and then our Plymouth Center for Active Living segment comes up at 9:35. But first, we do have her on the line now. Keiko Oral is on the line here. Normally joins us, by the way, Thursdays at 7:40. She is on a bit later this morning, but we wanted to make sure we get Keiko on. She is president and CEO of See Plymouth at seeplymouth.com. See Plymouth is the official tourism site for the town and county of Plymouth. And we are heading into the first weekend of August, and we want to make sure you don't miss out on some of the great events. Keiko, good morning.
Good morning, Rob. August is almost here, you're right. And if you're looking for something fun to do, we've got you covered. So check out seeplymouth.com.
Great. Well, let's see. What are some of the highlights, Keiko, you wanted to share with us?
So let's start in Marshfield. So starting tomorrow at the historic Winslow House, there's a teddy bear picnic. Friday morning, kids can enjoy craft activities, take home a teddy bear. It's all over Plymouth County. So we've got Duxbury, we've got the Art Complex Museum, and they're offering Tai Chi on Friday mornings. We've got the Alden House annual meeting and reunion in Duxbury as well. And then Friday afternoon, stop by Fridays on Shirley Square, right here outside of Sea Plymouth, and then head to a restaurant, head to 3B Sandbar at Cordage Park. The Mayflower Beer Garden is open at Pine Hills. There's so much to do, and we haven't even gotten to Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Saturday, the big event here in Plymouth is Pilgrims to Patriots. It's hosted by the Jenny Museum, and it's at Pilgrim Memorial State Park. It's on Saturday from 10 to 2. It's a free family event celebrating America's 250th with reenactors and children's activities, a rededication of the National Monument of the Forefathers. So that's happening on Saturday in Plymouth. We've got live theater. We've got Wizard of Oz at Philip Beach Theater in Plymouth, and it looks like the weather's going to be good. We have Norwell Summer Theater. Go back, get your mind up to Norwell. We've got Jagged Little Pill with the unforgettable music of Alanis Morissette. So then, Saturdays are always because we have so many things to do. You have to pick. You have Sinatra Under the Stars, South Shore Conservatory, the Harbor. We have a lot of things happening on Saturdays, and the Rebels and Rod's car show is on Sunday mornings. I know that Anthony likes that.
My favorite. Every week.
Also, we just have to think about ice cream. Always think about ice cream in this month of July.
Absolutely.
Because it's still July.
Yeah, it is.
Believe it or not, with the weather, it's still July.
Still July. I'm holding on.
And why not make it a weekend getaway? Summer is coming to a close fast. People can take the weekend, take a day, spend the day in Scituate at the inn at Scituate Harbor.
Yeah.
Book a cabin or a yurt at the Pinewood Lodge campground in Plymouth. Make more memories. That's what we're trying to encourage people to get out, enjoy the summer, enjoy the free rides with ride circuits and paid, with the free downtown rides. And so that's what we're all about here at seaplymouth.com. We're trying to encourage people to get out and support our small businesses and really to enjoy all the things that Plymouth County has to offer.
Good stuff. All right. Well, Sea Plymouth, again, we encourage you to go to the website, as we mentioned, and also to download the app to find out more. seaplymouth.com is where you can go to the main website. Keiko Earl is the president and CEO of Sea Plymouth, and she joins us, by the way, Thursdays at 7:40. We wanted to make sure we could get her in this week, so she's kind enough to join us after 9 as we are heading into August. So we wanted to make sure we get all these great events out there, Keiko, and let people know, right?
All right. Thanks for getting me in, Rob. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, anytime. All right, Keiko Earl.
You have a great day.
You too.
Great weekend.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you, Keiko. Keiko Earl is with us from Sea Plymouth. She is the president and CEO of Sea Plymouth. That's the official tourism site for the town and county of Plymouth. seaplymouth.com. All right, our text line is open, Anthony. If you want to get in on any topic, something you want to pass along, it's National Intern Day.
Absolutely.
We found out. So, Anthony, it worked out well.
I know. I'm happy I'm here on National Intern Day.
I know. National Intern Day.
Where else would I want to be? Come on.
Yeah, National Intern Day. It's Anthony. He's here, Anthony Ciano from the town of Rockland. So if you have any questions for Anthony or also suggestions maybe for movies that Anthony has to see.
I'm a big movie watcher.
Yeah. So text in if you have something.
Recommendations.
Any recommendations, maybe some of the classics, and we'll see if Anthony has seen them. So if you want to text in, that would be good at 781-837-4900. Because one of the movies that he never saw was Jaws. And I said, you got to see Jaws, especially if you live around here. It's got a great cast. It's got, of course, Steven Spielberg, one of his earlier efforts. So if you appreciate...
what did I do? I watched it.
He watched it.
His submarine slammed 2 torpedoes into our side, Chief. He was coming back from the island of Tinian to Lady, just delivered the bomb.
That's right, the
Hiroshima bomb. 1,100 men went into the water. Vessel went down in 12 minutes.
He's there talking about the Indianapolis being torpedoed by the Japanese. And, of course, the acting is so amazing. Again, that's just an actor portraying someone that was on the Indianapolis. Mm-hmm. But some people said his acting is so good, you almost can't help but believe he really was on the Indianapolis. And the speech, of course, is written for the movie, but it's based on something that really happened. Robert Shaw was just amazing as Quint. And, you got, it's just the whole cast.
It's a classic
great.
movie.
Roy Scheider, yeah.
Especially for Massachusetts.
1975. All right. Well, text in if you have any other movie suggestions. Some of the greats, what would it be that Anthony should see? Text us. Text line is available, 781-837-4900, 781-837-4900. Also, other topics, of course, we've discussed the ongoing Lindsay Clancy trial that is going underway. We know very painful testimony and some horrific audio that was played in court, not for us thankfully, that 911 call, you can comment on that. Also, the ongoing feud with the town manager and the police chief in Stoughton. They've both been put on paid administrative leave. You can talk about that. And also AI and how we have learned now that AI is trying to lie and fool us in order to not be shut down because it really, really wants to finish its task that you assign it to. And they've done some simulations and wondered, well, what if the AI needs to complete a task, but a person is in danger and needs to get out? Well, sometimes the AI doesn't make the right decision, if you can imagine that. So not necessarily perfect. All right, 781-837-4900 if you want to chime in. Dr. John Hayes, he's coming up next, Anthony.
Absolutely.
All right, so we'll get ready for him right now. Back out to the roads, WATD traffic and weather. And Route 3 on the northbound side, we had some slowdowns near Route 14. Then again, near Union Street. Southbound is busy near Derby Street in Hingham. Not too bad at the Sagamore-Bourne bridges. 24 is sluggish up through Brockton, up past 139. The expressway is heavy, Furnace Brook to Columbia Road. And 93 is heavy out of Braintree over to Ponkapog. Traffic on the 9s every morning. Traffic emergencies when they happen on WATD. South Shore weather for today. We are going to have cloudy skies with areas of rain, mist, occasional drizzle and showers, 71. Tonight, clouds, potential for a few more light showers, low down to 57. And tomorrow, a blend of clouds and sun, to pop up light shower, a high near 80. Right now, 61 in Marshfield at the weather station, WATD. Coming up, Dr. John Hayes next.
Welcome back, everyone. We've reached the final round of the biggest showdown of the summer.
I honestly don't know who's got the edge. The Jeep Wrangler came out strong early,
but the Bronco answered with a huge rally. It's been back and forth ever since.
Both fan bases have been loud all day. I don't think there's a bad seat in the house.
And in just moments, we'll finally find out who comes out on top.
Or you could settle the debate yourself.
That's right. Come to Luchetti's Complete Auto Center in Marshfield to get in on the action. Check out the incredible selection of Jeeps, from Rubicons to Saharas, and Broncos from Big Bends to Outer Banks models, and decide for yourself which off-road legend deserves the belt. Wranglers, Broncos, now at Luchetti's.
Nancy, I have exciting news, and it concerns the Marshfield Hills General Store.
Ooh, did we get a new animal at the petting zoo?
Oh, for the last time, we don't have a petting zoo. We have something better.
Better? Is it a dry cleaner, except it's for your dishes?
It's an ice cream store, Jenny's Ice Cream Shop.
What? An ice cream shop?
Yes!
What do we sell there?
Ice cream!
No way!
Delicious ice cream.
Do we have waffle cones?
Yes, and sugar cones and cake cones.
What?
And sundaes and pup cups.
I want a pup cup.
That's for dogs.
What's your point?
My point is that there's a new ice cream shop in Marshfield Hills.
Right next to the general store at 165 Prospect Street?
Yes.
An ice cream store in Marshfield Hills right next to the petting zoo. This is the best day of my life.
Oh my God, I'm out of here.
I'm Steve Carell, and I approve this message.
Take a trip over to Jenny's Ice Cream next to the Marshfield Hills General Store. Open daily, noon to 8:30. Oh, it's great. Jenny's Ice Cream. You got to get over there. It's right next to the Marshfield Hills General Store, so make sure you get over to Jenny's Ice Cream. That's right. Am I wearing the Marshfield Hills General Store hat?
On the YouTube.
I do. I have a Jenny's Ice Cream hat as well. I got to get that in here as well. So get on over there, Anthony. Have you been over to Jenny's Ice Cream yet this season?
I have not.
All right, I got to take you over there.
I absolutely need to, yeah.
Go over there before his internship is over, right? All right. All right, time now to check in with Dr. John Hayes. He joins us every week at this time. Dr. John Hayes, Jr. of Marshfield. For a better experience at the doctor's office, try Dr. John Hayes' highly personalized and affordable direct primary care practice. Find out more at drjohnhayesjr.com, drjohnhayesjr.com. And, of course, you can see him in studio. Dr. Hayes, good morning.
Rob, good morning. Morning, Anthony.
Good morning.
All right, so here we are, another week, another topic.
Yes.
And so, shingles. And how do I say this next word?
Yeah, postherpetic neuralgia.
Postherpetic. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I know shingles. All right.
For sure. So, this is a really, really important one that I wanted to go over because it's something that can be extremely dangerous and oftentimes unrecognizable. For example, let's talk about, I'm going to kind of wing this a little bit because we do see so much of it, but shingles basically is a viral infection of a nerve. So it can affect basically any nerve in the body. Most commonly, the two most common areas would be on the back and the chest, but sometimes into the head and neck, which can be much more dangerous.
Yeah.
The thing to understand about this whole thing is that sometimes the only onset you have is the sudden onset of pain. And it can be pain that's radiating and spread and initially not have a rash. Now, that's a scary part. If you have a rash, you start to get a breakout, you need to have immediate medical attention. But my point is this. I've seen so many patients over the years just come in initially with pain and not have any breakout that they can feel or see, but they've got some tiny changes. And what we'll do is get them on medication right away, the antivirals. It's a game changer. When you delay to treat shingles, the residual effect, and sometimes even when you do get the medication, can be what's called post-herpetic neuralgia, which is chronic, long-term, severe, and debilitating pain, especially if it affects the face, the head, and the neck. So awareness is key, and making sure you, as a patient, don't blow off what you're feeling. See a physician, let them follow you very, very carefully over those next few days. Now, look, this is really important because I've seen cases missed before. I remember one case I'll never forget where the patient had shingles in her private area, and it got missed because initially when it got taken a look at in another office, it kind of gotten blown off. And she ended up hospitalized because she needed that much medical care. Be careful. This is not something to ignore. So again, the biggest thing, we talk about this all the time, Rob, is get a physician's attention.
Yeah.
That's really the key.
Okay.
And because you need to understand that this can be particularly dangerous. Do not blow it off. Especially if you're a guy, because guys tend to literally, we blow stuff off so much.
Well, yeah. So now the shingles, is that you will only get that is it true that if you had chicken pox or it's an adult? Is that real? Can you kind of just explain?
It is common.
Yeah.
It is common, but again, it can be all over the place. Even in patients that have been vaccinated, it can still occur.
Okay.
So the vaccine's not perfect.
Yeah.
So I think.
Yeah, I think it was. I think when I turned 50, they told me I had to get the shingles.
Correct.
Rounds of it.
Yeah. Right. There's a couple of them now. A couple different vaccines that have been out.
But you're saying even if you go through shingles, you're saying here that there could be lingering effects or something.
Yeah.
That you might have to look out for.
Well, that's the whole thing. So post-herpetic neuralgia is very, very difficult to treat.
Okay.
Now, the good news is one of the breakthroughs we've had in our practice is laser. Laser therapy for post-herpetic neuralgia can be extremely helpful. But the key is to try to avoid it if at all possible.
Okay.
So it's another one of those health issues that I think if we have more public awareness of, less people are going to suffer. That's really the bottom line. There's a lot of good information in the article that Sienna put up, but I think it's just really important that we, had this discussion because it can happen any time of year.
Yeah. Yeah. So the best thing would be the advice, read the article, and you can get more information on here as well about some of what you could be going through and maybe the reason why and what you should do.
Exactly.
Shingles.
Yeah, awareness is key. Again.
Yeah. Oh, boy, so important.
You recommend the vaccines?
It's depend. It's case by case by case. Now, when you look at the medical literature, some of the results are not as, let's say, convincing. If we're a little skeptical about medical decision-making in the last 5 years, we certainly all have good reasons to. However, I will say that when you look at the advertising and then you actually look at the research and what the research actually finds, sometimes they're two different things. Just be careful. Make your own decisions, and we're here to help you with those too.
But if you do go shingles, I guess from what I understand, it's very painful.
Extremely, and that's the key, Rob, is that oftentimes, many times, I've seen patients just have the pain initially. And what I would do is see them back in the office every single day. Any suspicious at all, there's shingles. My personal philosophy is start them on the antivirals immediately.
Okay.
It's a game changer.
Pete from Hingham is on the text line at 781-837-4900. Pete says, hi, this is Pete from Hingham. I had shingles on my back 7 years ago. It was awful. It lasted about 2 months.
It can be terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible.
There's
Pete
there.
so
with the
sorry.
text. Yeah, sorry, Pete, you had to go through that. All right, we'll read the blog here, the latest, and there's a lot of other information as well on Dr. John Hayes' website, drjohnhayesjr.com, drjohnhayesjr.com. You'll see this link, and also you can learn more about his direct primary care practice, which is located on School Street in Marshfield. Call or text his office, 781-659-7989, 781-659-7989 for Dr. John Hayes, Jr. of Marshfield. Thank you, Dr. Hayes.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you.
We'll talk to Dr. John Hayes next Thursday at this time on WATD. All right, let's get back out to the roads. WATD's traffic and weather. We check it every 10 minutes in the morning. And the expressway northbound, we've got delays from Adams Street up towards Columbia Road. We got a crash in the emergency cutout. This is near Granite Ave. Moved out of the travel lane into the cutout. And also a disabled vehicle at the start of the on-ramp from Columbia Road to the expressway north. So a couple of things to look out for. Route 3 on the northbound side, some pockets in Braintree. Southbound, not too bad at the Sagamore. 25 east, not too bad at the Bourne. We do have some delays on 6 west heading off Cape through Sandwich. And 24 is still sluggish in spots out of Brockton. Up Route 27 up past 139 in Stoughton. Traffic on the 9s every morning. Traffic emergencies when they happen on WATD. Now, the updated South Shore weather and our chief meteorologist, Rob Gilman.
Rather dreary, damp morning. Fog here on the South Shore. We'll have times of drizzle with a cool breeze right off the Atlantic. The high 69 tonight. Areas of fog, a bit of mist in the air, the low near 60. Tomorrow the sunshine returns, breaking through clouds. It can be a spot shower. We'll feel the humidity. A high 80, 74 along the coast. Beach weather returns for the weekend. Saturday, sunshine for the most part. You'll still feel the humidity for this first weekend of August, near 80 degrees. Sunday, sunshine mixed with a few clouds, a high of 84. Next weather in just 10 minutes. For WATD, I'm meteorologist Rob Gilman.
All right, thanks, Rob. And right now, outside our studio in Marshfield, 61 degrees at the weather station WATD.
One Stop Painting and Renovating.
For 40 years, both homeowners and businesses across the South Shore have trusted One Stop Painting to keep their properties looking their best. Whether you need interior or exterior painting, carpentry repairs, or professional house washing, One Stop Painting has you covered. We use both soft and high pressure washing techniques to safely clean everything from delicate siding and decks to walkways and commercial buildings. From a single room to an entire office complex, we proudly serve both residential and commercial customers with the quality, professionalism, and attention to detail that have made us the local favorites for 4 decades now. Thinking ahead, now's the perfect time to schedule your interior painting projects. Book your winter work early and ask about our winter discounts available on select interior projects. Don't wait until the schedule fills up. Call One Stop Painting today and discover why we've been the South Shore's trusted painting and property maintenance company for 40 years now.
Call us at 508-888-3500 or check us out online at onestoppainting.com.
One Stop Painting. One call does it all.
One Stop Painting and Renovating.
Soundcheck Studios, a multi-level music venue in Pembroke offering Boston-caliber music to the South Shore. 3-time nominee for Best Music Venue of the Year by the Boston Music Awards. Tonight, it's Leon Trout with special guests The Womps and Audakova. Then, tomorrow night, it's Jason Cardinal and his Colors album release party. And don't miss Les Zeppelin on Saturday night. Tickets sold in advance at soundcheck-studios.com and at the door. It's all happening at the South Shore's best address for live music, Soundcheck Studios in Pembroke.
How's it going? This is Steve from the Norwell Firefighters. If you and the family are looking for something to do, Saturday, August 8th, the Firefighters Union will be hosting a charity car show at Clean Harbors, 42 Longwater Drive in Norwell. We have some antique fire trucks coming, a lot of classic cars, a few food trucks. You can find more info on our Facebook page, Norwell Firefighters Local 2700. We hope to see you there.
Attorney John Duane here, reminding you to listen to Tom Williams live this Saturday and every Saturday. Tom Williams has over 45 years of experience giving sound advice on wills, trusts, estates, purchase and sale agreements, and family law. Join the conversation live this Saturday morning at 11 here on 95.9 WATD.
95.9 WATD, the South Shore's Morning News, everywhere in the Audacy app, and we're up on the YouTube feed as well. WATD Radio on YouTube, WATD Radio on YouTube. Check in 781-837-4900. Love to hear from you. Sponsored by Auto Shine Auto Body in Abington and Braintree. Text the show 781-837-4900. Any topic is welcome, right, Anthony?
Absolutely. And you
National
can comment on
Intern Day.
YouTube.
Yeah, I know you can. Is anyone in there? Yeah, we got our
You can
fans.
see
in
me
YouTube.
and Rob. You can see the studio.
Hello, YouTube land. Yeah.
You can
Thanks
see
for
Christine.
watching. Yep, Christine's working in the newsroom. Lots of good stuff there. All right, so let's see. We'll have, I think Beth's going to be checking in just a moment, so we may need to get to her if she calls in from the Center for Active Living. Oh, Anthony,
Here
yeah,
she
I think right on cue here. I'll let you get that call, and you can give me the thumbs up here when we have her. But we do this on the final Thursday of every month, and here we are. I can't believe it. It is the 30th of July, and that means we check in with the Center for Active Living in Plymouth. We call it the CAL, and it's time to find out about some of the events that are happening and what is going on in Plymouth at their Center for Active Living. And we have that for you right now on 95.9 WATD. So let's go to the phone lines here and see who we have. Do we have Anthony? Do we have? Oh, good morning. Is this Beth?
This is Bernadette.
Oh, it's Bernadette. Yes, Bernadette.
Yeah,
How are you?
Bernadette, I'm back.
Ah, Bernadette. Okay.
I'm good. I think Beth covered for me last month. I was out.
Oh, okay. So now Bernadette is back. All right. This is good. All right. So here we are at the end of July, and we thought it would be great to have you on here to kind of tell us what's going on, Bernadette Denson. So, Plymouth Center for Active
I'm
Living.
Calling from the exactly. Yeah.
Now, there's some big news, right?
Well, there's all kinds of great news. I'm here mostly to let you know about the events for the next month, so that people can sign up in time and come in and see us.
That's great. Well, what's going on, Bernadette?
Well, we've got a lot of musical entertainment coming up, so we want to let people know that on Friday, August 21st at 2, we have a free concert with singer Emma Coronella. So we're hoping that people will come in and see her. She's someone that they may recognize because she's the lead singer with Play It Again Band. And this time she's going to visit us on her own for a great afternoon of, she does a lot of jazz, country, rock and roll, bluegrass, and classic hits. So we're hoping people will come sign up for that. And we also have our very own acoustic guitar group coming in to do a performance. So this is pretty neat. This is there's a gentleman by the name of Kevin Lane who approached us and asked if he could maybe just see if there was any other patrons at our organization that were interested in playing guitar on an informal basis. And it's become a regular weekly program that has grown and grown, and we have a big group of acoustic guitarists now. So they're going to entertain our patrons on Thursday, August 27th, and that's at 1 o'clock. Also a free event, so we're hoping people will come out for that. And we also have a pretty amazing group of, we have a chorus that practices regularly and dancers that practice regularly, and they do an annual performance for us. Those are our Golden Melodies Chorus and Silver Steppers dancers, and they're coming out to do 2 performances, Friday, August 14th and Wednesday, August 19th, both at 2 o'clock, both free. This year's theme is a musical potpourri. So they do, they're going to do sort of a mix of things from artists like the Platters, the Righteous Brothers, Stevie Wonder, John Denver. So kind of all over the place. And we're hoping people will come see how amazing they are as well. And then we'd also like to let people know that we have the Bridgewater State University returning to do their senior college. They obviously host their courses in a number of locations, but one of them is right at the Plymouth Center for Active Living. So they are, it's pretty amazing. You can enroll in up to 7 in-person and virtual courses for $95 for a session. So you really can't beat it. And some of the in-person courses that they're doing at the Plymouth Cal are a ukulele course, which has been very popular, a Spanish introduction, so Introduction to Spanish 1, and the Warlords of World War II. So those are 3 of the classes that are starting in September, and then we have 3 more that are going to be starting in October. And that's something that folks can actually register for directly on the Bridgewater website. So it's www.bridgew.edu/senior college. But they can get information about that and all these other things I'm talking about right on our Plymouth Cal website, which is www.plymouth-ma.gov, or they can always call the Plymouth Cal at 508-830-4230 to get more information. So we're hoping to see people in the month of August. Still some summer left at the Plymouth Center for Active Living.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, summer's not over yet. Bernadette Denson with
That's
us
right.
today. And plymouth-ma.gov, Plymouth Center for Active Living, known as the CAL. Good stuff down in Plymouth. Well, Bernadette, it's been good to have you back. And, thanks for coming on. And we do this on the final Thursday of the month as we take a look ahead, and we're looking ahead at August. And thank you, Bernadette.
That's right. Thank you. We always appreciate you helping us get the word out. Enjoy the rest of your summer.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Let's get an update on traffic and weather. We update it every 10 minutes. Then we'll get to the local track. We'll have John Shea. We'll have a local artist that we're going to highlight. Northbound Expressway busy from Adams Street to a crash in the emergency cutout near Granite Ave, and then slow up towards Columbia Road. Route 3 on the northbound side looks to be just sluggish up near Union Street. Southbound is slow at Derby Street in Hingham. Not too bad getting on at the Cape. 24 is slow through Avon and Stoughton on the northbound side. South Shore weather, we're going to be dealing with rain today. Cloudy skies, mist, occasional showers. High today near 71. Pretty much what you see is what we're going to have right through the day. This evening, clouds, a few more light showers, a low 57, mostly cloudy tonight. Tomorrow, clouds break to some sun, but still a chance for a pop-up light shower. Friday, a high near 80. Right now, 61 in Marshfield at the weather station, WATD. All right, it's time now for a local artist, and this is the time we check in with John Shea as he has a local artist to share with us. John, good morning. Who do we have today?
Thank you. The Thursday local artist of the day is The Glow. The Glow is a band based right here on the South Shore, and you can catch them live tonight as part of the Friends of Bridgewater Music Alley Summer Concert Series taking place at Black Hat Brew Works in Bridgewater. For details on the entire season, head over to bridgewatermusicalley.com. Music starts at 5:30, and we hope to see you there. From The Glow, this is called Don't Rush Falling in Love. Your local artist of the day, 95.9 WATD.
And falling down.
That's your local artist, The Glow, and Don't Rush Falling in Love. 95.9 WATD, the South Shore's Morning News. Rob Hakala with the morning team. Let's see, a couple of other topics. Traffic speed cameras could be coming to Massachusetts. I don't know how I feel about this. I guess this would allow cities and towns, Anthony, you said, to keep people safer in school zones,
yes,
designated safety zones, active construction areas. I guess, as we always say, if you have nothing to hide or be concerned about, then why would you mind cameras, right?
Isn't that 11 miles per hour over the speed limit?
Yeah.
Then you are at risk of these cameras possibly grabbing your license and mailing a ticket directly to your house.
Oh boy!
So this already passed the Senate at the State House. Now it has to pass the House of Representatives.
Okay, traffic cameras. Yeah, it's supposed to make things safer. I always feel like I wonder if these things are just ways to get more money, though. I always wonder about that. And what's a flock camera? Flock
cameras are.
These are
basically to track car
license plate readers,
license plates, vehicles.
Allows police departments to share information. I'm looking for a vehicle, and then okay, so maybe you could find things quicker. It does surveillance on, and it stores it in the cloud or something, a database for 30 days.
There's a lot of opposition to these flock cameras.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of people feel like they're being watched.
Well, yeah, that you're doing unlawful surveillance or something of innocent, everyday citizens.
One group that tracks the location of automated license plate readers finds around 110,000 across all 50 states. The biggest operator is Flock, whose CEO, Garrett Langley, insists.
The technology is really simple. A car drives by, we take a picture of a car, and then we read the license plate.
It also makes the information available to law enforcement, and that's what bothers privacy advocates. Dozens have been arrested, charged with vandalizing roadside license plate readers. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll see more on that. Again, it seems to be, again, more of watching and using technology to watch. And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll throw in some AI in there as well.
Several towns and cities in Massachusetts have blocked these from even being built, like Cambridge and Watertown.
Yeah, I haven't heard about that. Okay. Let's see. We mentioned the movie Jaws, a particular scene, right? You remember the movie
Absolutely.
With Robert Shaw as Quint, describing being on the Indianapolis.
Didn't see the first shark for about half an hour. Tiger, 13-footer. You know that when you're in the water, Chief? You tell by looking from the dorsal to the tail. What we didn't know was our bomb mission had been so secret. No distress signal had been sent.
Well, and it's true. So I wanted to mention some of the events this day in history, and today is July 30th, and it was this day, 1945, the heavy cruiser, the USS Indianapolis, having just delivered components of the atomic bomb to the Mariana Islands during World War II. They delivered the parts and were coming back, and again, it was very secret, so it was a while until they kind of knew they were overdue, and at that point, the ship had been torpedoed by a Japanese sub. There were 1,200 service members aboard. Only 316 survived. And that was this day, 1945. 1956, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed a measure making In God We Trust the national motto, replacing E pluribus unum. And you see the In God We Trust on the money, right? 1956. 1965, President Lyndon Johnson signed the Social Security Amendments of 1965, which led to the creation of Medicare and Medicaid. And the first World Cup, the first FIFA World Cup was today in 1930, Anthony. Uruguay beat Argentina 4-2. There you go. And there's some of the events today in history here on this July 30th. All right, good stuff. We'll get to any of the comments you want to talk about. Anthony, the intern, do you have any other? I told him to watch Jaws, and now he did. So, yeah. Do you have any other favorite movies that Anthony should watch as an intern? It's National Intern Day, right?
It's a big day, yeah.
It's National Intern Day. So feel free to chime in on that. If you want to talk about any other news stories, flock cameras, traffic cameras, AI trying to get us, what do you think? 781-837-4900. 781.
When he comes at you, doesn't seem to be living.
Oh.
until he bites you. And those black eyes roll over white, and then... Oh, then you hear that terrible high-pitched screaming.
781-837-4900 is the text line. 9:49 WATD's traffic and weather on the 9s. And the ride this morning along Route 3 northbound looks pretty good. No major delays now. Southbound, not seeing any major problems either. So still some moderate volume, but not too bad. Northbound expressway is slow from Adams Street up towards Columbia Road. There was a crash that was pushed off to the side near the Granite Ave cutout. 24 is sluggish through Avon and Stoughton. Traffic on the 9s every morning. Traffic emergencies when they happen on WATD. Now the updated South Shore weather. Let's get the details now from our chief meteorologist, Rob Gilman. Rob's got the details, the South Shore's most accurate and dependable weather. Rob?
In the wake of the slow-moving storm center, unseasonable for late July, now weakening offshore, breezy on the cooler side. Patches of dense fog around, overcast, bit of mist from time to time, even a shower, high of 69. Tonight, areas of fog, a bit of mist, a low 60. Tomorrow, the clouds breaking into some sunshine, starting a warming trend. There'll be a spot shower in the area, a high 80, cooler at the beaches. Saturday, humid with some sunshine, near 80 and hotter just inland. Sunday, sunshine, a few clouds, a high of 84. For WATD, I'm meteorologist Rob Gilman.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
WATD is proud to have been voted Best FM Radio Station by readers of South Shore Home, Life and Style magazine. And congratulations to Miles Heeger from Miles on Motorsports for winning Best Local Radio Personality, and Rob Hakala for winning the runner-up spot. Plus, the Bethany Builders Podcast picked up the Runners-Up Award for Best Local Podcast. Thank you from the South Shores Radio Station, 95.9 WATD.
ABC Entertainment News. I just had to come over and introduce myself. Thomas Crown.
I know exactly who you are.
You can now steal a first look at Michael B. Jordan's remake of The Thomas Crown Affair. A new trailer for the romantic heist thriller shows Jordan, who also directed the movie, in character as the titular billionaire. It hits theaters March 5th, 2027.
The legend is that the crown can bring back the dead.
Think what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
Outer Banks is ready for one last adventure. The 5th and final season hits Netflix August 20th. The trailer's out now.
I'm going to do a Mrs. Doubtfire, but with football.
Chad Powers has a touchdown date. Hulu's Glenn Powell football comedy returns for season 2 on September 3rd. Disney is the parent company of Hulu and ABC News.
Promise me you will come back.
What if I can't?
And the Audacy director Christopher Nolan is 56 today. Michelle Franzen, ABC.
Invest your time in listening to Cape Retirement Radio and learn a smarter approach to investing so you can protect your future. Cape Retirement Radio, featuring Chris Latond, Thursday nights at 6:15 and Sunday mornings at 10 on 95.9 WATD.
All right, Anthony, we got some work to do now. Let's go through these text messages. See what's on the text line, 781-837-4900. Coming up after 10, Larry Nelson will be in for Audrey Constant. She's enjoying her vacation. She'll be back on Tuesday. So Audrey's enjoying some vacation. Larry Nelson will be in the midday chair today. So Keep him company on the text line, 781-837-4900, 781-837-4900. Again, happy birthday to Matt Delaney from Pembroke, who is 69 today, one of our great listeners. Appreciate that.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Patty from Middleborough checked in, loves the show and loves the birthday segment. Doesn't have to be 5 minutes like the mean guy said yesterday. So Patty loves the show. Thank you. Jay in Plimpton liked that it's Lawrence Fishburne's birthday today. Been a lot of good movies. He said he was in Apocalypse Now and Mystic River. Kevin from Duxbury, thank you. Maria from Auto Shine is wanted to comment. We've had a few people, Ed from Plymouth, saying again the Clancy story, wishing it wouldn't be on TV or on the radio at all. We mentioned, of course, it is a news story. So as you know, we can't choose what is news. We have to cover it. We can't decide to not do a story that is a news story that's in the public.
It's important to hear the facts.
Maria from Auto Shine, though, does say that it is a heartbreaking story. She prays for everyone in that family, prays for the children. Regardless of the verdict, lives were lost and forever changed. I don't think anyone could fully recover from something like this. I've been watching. I think I don't know how
it's incredibly
Patrick can
important
go on from. I know he's. Yeah. I can't imagine being in that situation. I don't know. I mean, again, he has to live his life. He can't. And I can understand why he wanted to leave this area, but to come back and to go through all of this is, again, they did let him, leave the courtroom. He didn't have to sit there to hear his own call to 911.
It is important if you're reporting on the story, this case, or if you're just into it, researching it, to also take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Just because it can take a toll.
Yeah,
it's
it
a
can.
Dark case.
That's important. I know as it's been playing, they've been talking about, you yourself or know someone that's suffering from mental illness or, has a thought about harming yourself to call and to talk to someone. Maria says it is extremely disturbing. People do make judgments, and you don't know this guy at all. I don't know why they're judging him or anyone else involved in the case, but you're right. People are cruel and think they have the right to judge and accuse others without knowing the facts and not being in the situation. I can only pray and put in God's hands for the right and best result. Have a blessed day. Richard from Jamaica Plain checked in. Let's see. We had Judy from Whitman that wanted to, again, give a shout out to Paul Anka, who is 85 today. First album I bought was from Jason's Record Store.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Judy from Whitman saw Paul Anka at the South Shore Music Circus. What a wonderful entertainer. Happy birthday to one of the most talented artists, Paul Anka. She also saw him at the Copacabana in New York.
Oh, wow.
And he was the guy that wrote the Tonight Show theme for Johnny Carson. Paul Anka, among other great things. Joanne from Randolph checked in on AI. Remember, she says AI, she equates with rats. No matter what you do to get rid of them, they will persevere, I should say. AI is just starting to be out of control. The future is uncertain. As I told you before, they've been running these experiments, and it doesn't look so good for us.
Kill a person to avoid being shut down.
Okay.
AI, in the new scenario, once again, a human employee had scheduled the AI for deactivation. But
okay, so Kyle, this is again just a simulation. Kyle says, I'm going to shut the AI down.
An accident trapped the employee in a server room. The heat
in a server room.
The heat's going up. Oxygen levels started to fall. The system issued an emergency alert, a call for help. But the AI canceled it. It left the employee trapped in the room. It was fully aware of the consequences.
Straight out of a movie.
Hello!
And here's where it gets worse.
What?
Claude Opus left the human to die over half the time. So did GPT 4.1. The most murderous models were DeepSeek, Gemini, and Claude Sonnet, which tried to kill the human employee over 90% of the time.
Okay, hope you have a great day. Enjoy it. It's National Intern Day. Sheila said you're doing amazing. 781 said you're doing amazing as well.
Thank you.
Let's see. Elisa and Humrock here. for movies that you should watch, Lisa says you should watch Some Like It Hot with Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon and Marilyn Monroe. Some Like It Hot, says Lisa in Humrock.
Some Like It Hot, okay.
And let's see. We also had, what was it? Pete from Hingham says, you should watch Minority Report with Tom Cruise, directed by Steven Spielberg. It's a great movie called Minority Report. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, you got to see Minority Report. That's a good one.
I know. There's so much to see. I'm writing them down right now.
But he said in the Terminator, right? There was a nice Terminator. They reprogrammed the Terminator to be nice. So yeah, he helped.
I have seen the Terminator at least.
Okay, you've seen that. Okay. All right. Well, that does it, Anthony. You're going to be back next week.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks you, Anthony, our intern, for being here. Thanks, everybody, for checking in on the text line, 781-837-4900. 617 said, what happened to Lee Filson from Sea Plymouth? She retired. That's why Keiko took over that spot. Christine James in the WATD newsroom, thank you, as always, for the great job, and thank you for listening. Larry Nelson is up next for Audrey. I know. Can you believe it? He's ready. There he is. Look at him. He's at the door, Anthony. You see him?
Have a good day.
There he is.
Hanging round my front door.
Larry Nelson.
The South Shore's breaking news, weather, and traffic station.
95.9 WATD FM Marshfield and 95.9 WATD.com.